favorites. How are you guys? I just want to see if it pops up here and we're live. Let me know. Is it working? And I have my camera backwards, so I have to remember where the camera is. I have my phone backwards. I have to remember where the camera is. So let's do our check-in. How you guys doing? Oh, mute myself. No one needs me in stereo, right? Hello, friends. I'm so excited to get dressed and to craft with all of my besties today. Wow, we are in for some fun. I've been running around like a crazy woman. I had to iron my top because if you know me, I put it on and went, oh, I can't come and see my friends with wrinkles on. I can't do that, right? So I'm here. Messages that are coming in, everybody's chatting in our teacher group, telling Megan what a great job she did, which she did. It was awesome, and I joined in live and got to see that. Yes, have your extra cutter blade ready, unless you're okay with distressed paper edges. We have some paper cutting, but if you guys have done these classes with me before, this is like a compact version. So because, right, we only have 3 and Catherine gave me a bonus half hour. It is like more compact. So this is good. This is a great, like I'm jumping you into the gang, but in a gentle way, right? You're getting jumped in. So very excited, have to share that I put pretty top on with sleeves. So even if you can't see me the whole time, this has been sitting in my closet waiting for today. And these are the earrings that won. My friend sent these to me from Spain. If you guys have followed me for a while, I love rainbows. Like, love rainbows, unicorns, color, just all the things. So it really was the top that asked to come out of the closet today, because I do talk to my clothes. And they said, please take the tag off and wear me today. And I went, of course, I would love to do that. And then my top chose the earrings that it wanted to partner with. So we're good. How are you, my friends? How has today been going? Let me read some comments. So, because this is why Vicki Booten, me, loves to do live classes, because if you have hung out with me at all, you know, for me, it's community, and I love it, and I feed off of the energy of you guys, and I just love to do it off the cuff, crazy, full-on Vicki. And I also feel like it's less work because I don't have to record and edit it. So edited it. And I like to be here because it's like COVID is killing me in the sense that I'm a traveling teacher. I travel all over the world. I go everywhere to share my passion for paper crafting. And it's been hard, right? For us Canadians, a lot of us, it's going to be 2 years probably before I ever really even leave my house other than for groceries. So this live is like as close as I can get to actually hugging you. And a lot of you have met me in person and you know, I want to come sit with you. I want to hug with you. I want to eat your snacks. I'll crawl in bed with you. Tammy's out there, I think, and she knows that when she's come on my crafting cruises. I like to dance. I'm planning a Zumba class. We're going to Zumba together. It just, for me, I am full on, high energy, a lover of people, a lover of this craft, and a lover of this community. So no fear for today. It's just throw that away, right? And stress and anxiety ages us. So we shouldn't do that anymore. So we'll do deep breaths. And I will, usually if I'm in the room, I will gauge the room. It's hard to do. I can't see you, so I can't gauge your anxiety level. But I really feel like if you've done this with me before, you are so good. I'm missing my cruising too, my pocket pal, Margie. And first off, I want to say I got some more flowers today and the birthday wishes. Oh my goodness, you guys fill my cup to overflowing. Like, it really is awesome. So it's going to be good. This is going to be good. You're going to have so much fun today. Very relaxing. I will talk the whole time. And hey, B, my friend for like ever, who is always hanging out with me. I love her. She does the YMCA with me when we are sitting on that cruise ship and watching the cute guys do the YMCA. I love you, B. And I owe you thickers. I just noticed that. So I got the gold thickers you wanted. So I will remember and I will send those out. No stress. No stress. It makes us old and we don't want to be old. This is fun, right? You have made your plans for the weekend so that your kids are taken care of, your significant others taken care of, you did your laundry, you got the time off work. So there's no time for stress. It's all fun, right? So we're going to have a party this afternoon. So let's chat. Let me say some hellos. I have my phone set up so I can see it now. I'm going to Blair Witch you. So just know because how I'm set up, because I'm looking. I'm looking in this corner because my phone's usually the other way. So sorry if you're like, why is she looking off into space? I've got it together today. So don't be worried if I look like I'm looking at a bug or something on the screen. And I lost my train of thought. So I will Blair Witch you because I will have to flip the camera around so that I can make sure everything is laid out perfectly. But I like to start my lives with some eye contact. And I also want to make sure everybody has a chance to, I don't know, maybe they took a quick lunch break. And I know if my Puerto Ricans are out there that they probably are having some kind of yummy cocktail and they're always the late ones. So if you're here, are you late or are you here? Because I know, and I love it. So I want to make sure everybody gets a chance to get on. I'm going to run through what should be on your desk. We're going to do the math at the beginning of the class, but literally, I am your crafting Yoda. Don't try to figure this out on your own. Just do what I tell you. And, but holler at me if you're like, Vicki, you're making a mistake. Because sometimes that happens, right? But I go all of my instructions. Michelle, how are you? I miss, my goodness, guys. I seriously miss all of you. So, and I miss you even if we haven't even met before. I miss that we lost an experience to hug in person. So, and we've given you a break later in the class. Catherine, if that's you talking to me, you will be so proud of me. I did this before you even told me to. So I know at 5 p.m., we'll take a break, but I'm going to, because you're here, I love it. And they'll see, hola chica. I usually, see, because I'm a rule breaker, so I hope this is okay. What I usually do is we do the paper cutting and then we take a quick break. Because will that be okay? Is there a reason, Catherine, if you're out there, do I have to take the break at 5? And I'll tell you why. It's just for flow of the class. I like to do all the paper cutting, which will probably take us about an hour. And then I say, okay, you need to stretch. You need to go take a potty break. You need to refill your wine glass or your coffee, whatever you're doing. No judgment here. If I was there with you, I'd be partaking in whatever the rest of you were doing. And then we'll take a break, stretch, and then we come back. We get all of our stuff set up and we start to assemble. This is run like a very well-oiled machine. You guys, I think, are going to love this class. We're going to have fun. I'm going to have fun today, and I hope you're going to join me. It's going to be great. So let's start with some hellos. Pink Whitney, what do you mix it with, Crystal? Because I know, is that just a Canadian thing, Pink Whitney? So Pink Whitney is this alcoholic beverage that's pink and is the all the rage with the younger partakers, and it's like lemonade flavor or whatever. I don't care. It's pink, and it's the only reason I like it. Like Riley came home today with the pink lemonade from not Michael's. Michael's doesn't have lemonade. From McDonald's, and I had one sip, and it totally gave me heartburn. But I only wanted to drink it because it was pink. I really only wanted to drink it if it was pink. And Catherine, do you remember the unicorn drink from Starbucks? And I think we had it in BC at a Crop and Create. And it was that day, it was dropping, and I had to have the unicorn drink, and it tasted like butt. But I still just needed the pitcher with the unicorn drink because it was a unicorn drink, but it didn't last for a long time because it wasn't all that tasty. So let's yes the unicorn drink. One and done. Got my picture. Catherine drove all over to find me the unicorn drink because she's a friend and that's what friends do for each other. And then I was done. It was not tasty, but it was purple and turquoise, like Tim Holtz' new distress color. And if you watch me live in my in-between of all the stuff that was going on for the event yesterday, I was pretty close. I said it was gonna, I think was gonna be a teal turquoise. It just was lighter. So Tim and I were sharing a brain, but it was a little bit different than what I had come out with, but I love it and can't wait to get it. It is, he was right. He always is. You just go with whatever Tim says. He's always right. Okay, so here we go. Right, Dion? I said, I think it's gonna be a blue. It's gonna be like a blue-green, but I thought it would be a deeper blue, but he went more on the green side. So I think he should have consulted me first, but I'm actually happy with his overriding decision. So let's see. I'm going to say some hellos. Hello, Michelle and Judy and Kelly and Dandy. I'm so happy to have you guys here. I'm so ready to get started. I feel like this has given everyone a chance to gather. I've herded the cats and we're all ready. Any questions before we get started, or I will Blair Witch you and flip the camera so you can see what I have laid out on my desk. I'm going to get comfortable. I'm glad I got to share my shirt, and my balloons are freaking awesome. It's a 50, and I have flowers. It's good, and we're going to get started. Is it just me, or is it not started yet? What are anybody having technical difficulties? B said, is it just me or is it not started yet? Which kit is it? Are you ready, Vicki? You need the kit with the garden party and the teal, or pardon me, robin egg album. You need this, robin egg album. And you need the kit that has this in it. Okay, garden party, and it's Maggie Holmes and Heidi Swapper joining me today. Okay, and the thickers look like this. Is that helpful? That's a good question. Good question. Bonus points right off the top. I should probably tell you because you have a whole box of yummy awesomeness what class we're doing. So I'm doing the mini album, and my name is Vicki Booten, and I'm a paper crafter of many years, and the arch nemesis for Allie Edwards because I don't journal, but I will journal a little bit with her if I'm doing it Allie style. She totally inspires me, but I'm totally the one who just likes the pretty things and the art. So it's like you get a little bit of everything. You have Jess, who really brings that telling the story and deep and will fill your cup emotionally. You have Megan, who has great design tips and tricks, and it's just pretty. You have Virginia, who's just smart. She's just smart. And then you have the crazy class clown. That's me. So that's what you're getting from today. And very unapologetically, we'll say that I'm okay if I don't journal. You can. It's just, look I usually don't even put photos on anything. So there you go. If it's not all about the product for me, I don't know what it is. So, and she really is, I'm not lying. Allie, last night, just listening to her talk, and I love her, and I tell her, one, I love her voice and the tone of her voice. Freaking love her. I love how real she is. And then I just love to listen to her, just like Matthew McConaughey. Like I could just have every audiobook read to me by Matthew McConaughey and Allie Edwards, and everything would be right in the world. Just saying. Okay, so get ready. I'm going to Blair Witch you. I'm going to flip the camera. Are you ready? So you're going to look up my nose for 1 minute, and I'll try not to hang up on you. But I have another setup, but I don't know how to set it up through the Crop and Crate YouTube page. So just a second here. Vicki's got to do the thing. So how y'all doing? Get ready with any questions if you have anything before we get started. And I'm going to tell you right now, no stress. It's going to be so much fun. You're going to love it. So get ready, flipping the camera. No, well, how do I want to do this? I think so. This is how I normally do it. Oh, it's good too, right? It's all going the right way. Oh, it wasn't even like it's early on in the Blair Witch. I didn't even make you sick or anything. Okay, I think, can we see everything? I might shift this a little bit. Sorry, friends, it's hard sometimes to set up when we're live, right? Normally you would edit all this out, but because I'm doing it live, we can't do that. So just a sec, I want to make sure. I think it's good, right? We can see everything. Oh, you got to see my belly, and you got to see that I have pants on, so we're winning today. Okay, moving it over a bit. All right, excellent. So that gave everybody a chance now to gather your stuff, talk to your husband because maybe he's been missing you, or your kids who think you should spend time with them. And now we're ready to get started. So thank you already for doing the thumbs up. That helps Crop and Create. Any interaction on YouTube is awesome. And I always say it's like the price of admission, right? It's just helpful. So this is what we're starting with today. You got this. You've got this. We're doing the things. And I got my plate out to remind me and to remind us. All right, let's do the things. Not focused though. Who's it not focused for? It's totally focused on my end. Were we supposed to wear pants? Pants are optional, Ellen. You can still come to my party even if you don't have pants on. It's totally focused for me. If it's not focused for you, what I recommend is sometimes go in and out of YouTube, right? It's usually your connection. It's the same with Megan was having some issues. It's usually your connection. So sometimes it's super helpful to just go in and out. Okay, I put a piece of white paper down here too, so that everything is nice and clean. Seeing that we're not mixed mediaing it up, I am allowed to have white. I can wear white today. And then oh yes, thank you, Rebecca K. Here is the other thing. So remind me where that is, friends, that you can go and fix your resolution. On YouTube, you can go into, I think it's the 3 dots on, no, that's not it. There's usually like a little gear. And if you click on the gear, change your resolution to 720. So where is it though on the page, friends? Let's help, because this is super helpful thing anytime you're watching a live. If you go on the little gear or in settings, you need to change your oh, yes. So hover your mouse over the screen, see the little gear, and it says settings, go in there and change your resolution to 720. Someone taught me that a long time ago, and it makes it is going to be like a game changer for you. Thank you, Kathy Z's here, and she's a smart one. I was going to paint my nails after talking to Kathy yesterday, but I'm just excited that I showered. So we have that going for us today. All right, you ready? So deep breath. This is going to be so much fun. I'm trying to take it down 3 notches because I know that my exuberance may stress some of you out. So I have my drink with me with my Ray Dunn Today is Create. I have my peach bubbly because I have to keep it straight. So there's no alcohol for me today. I have my album here because we're going to walk through it before we get started because then we aren't going in blind. I think this will be super helpful. My designer paper clips because you need them. Your sound turned down when you went Blair Witch. I'll tell you why, Beth. Because now I'm sitting down. I was standing in front of it, okay? So just turn your volume up a little bit. It will change because of where my positioning is. So just turn your volume up a little bit, okay? So I have my paper clips. I have a ruler. Make sure you have your instructions. That's helpful. I'm going to use this pretty much solely for the paper cutting because this is how my brain works. I need to see everything in a square, and it makes my teaching, I think, just way easier. And my whole work through and process is that to keep the cats herded and we're all like loving each other and having a great time, cutting the paper together rather than cutting it as we use it is my golden nugget magical Vicki advice. So we're going to be doing this, okay? I have my kit ready, and we're going to go through that so you can put it in the same order, and then you're not struggling to find the paper we need as we need it. Don't even open this because we are not going to be using it. This is the fun part. I'm going to do the heavy lifting with you guys, and this is the fun part. This is how you complete a project like I have in a timely manner, because you like to do this. And then you can change the titles that I've chosen. You can totally make it your own. But the thing is I don't want this project to go into your craft or scrapbook kit graveyard. And you know exactly what I'm talking about. Those projects that you make in a class, you don't complete them, and then you come home, you put your stuff away, and you never touch it again. If we have everything that's pretty much in order, ready to go, just needs to be glued down, and add your photos and your embellishment, then we're cooking with oil, right? You had to change your RS. Is that your resolution? I read your mind and already put papers in order. See, Kelly, I have you trained well, right? So you have a scoreboard is perfect. You're going to laugh. This is my scoring tool today. I'm just going to put the pen away and I run it through the well in my trimmer. But yes, definitely a scoreboard is fine, whatever you need. Okay? So let's do a quick walkthrough of the project, because I think that will be helpful to kind of wrap your head around where we're going with it. So we're going to be using some vellum. We keep a lot of our UPC barcode strips. I have for tools in my little bin, because I like to keep it kind of organized and pretty so I'm not dropping stuff on the floor. I have a 1-inch circle punch, a 1.5-inch circle punch, a corner rounder, a scalloped border punch, and some scissors. I have my paper trimmer, a ruler, and your paper clips, and your scoring tool. Okay? Let's talk about what's going to happen. So you're going to have a lot of interactive bits. So this is where we're going to be scoring. We are going to have, like, look at double flaps. I know. Triple flap. Look at that. And we have side pockets. There is so much real estate in this project that you're going to have the best time. We'll talk about my favorite app for printing smaller photos, because I know some of you guys are going to be like, oh my goodness, this is blowing my mind. I only scrap 4x6. What am I going to do? And we'll talk about the app that I use in the live. So see, now you have to come watch the live. I'll talk about the app. Don't share it, friends that already know, okay? Because we got to get them there. They can't leave me. So here, flap in a pocket. So it's going to be a lot of fun. A lot of the embellishments get glued on the front of the pocket because I hate shiny reflective stuff. I like to put it on top. And then I love that when I pull my pieces out, I can put my photo on, and then, ooh, look at my title sitting on top if I wanted to use like a 5x7 on this page. And then we're going to have, oh, it's so pretty. And there is method to the madness of why and how I mix my pattern paper, that we can use a lot of busy patterns, but by mixing them with more subtle, press the eye, tonal patterns, just make it sing like this. Ah! So it's going to be fun. Like, seriously, it's going to be so much fun. So much real estate. I cannot wait to see when you guys add your photos because I don't know if I ever will. But you know, for me, really is the process of the making. It just makes me super happy. So we're going to have some waterfall flaps. And then a lot of it is like brain rest. Then some layered pockets. But isn't this, do you guys think, this is so pretty, right? And the two really work well together. So this is where we're going. So when we start and I say, okay, you need to score this, set it aside, cut it this way. There's reasons. Method to the madness always. This is a binder page we're going to cut. So just gives you kind of an idea. Pocket, flap, using vellum. I know, it's going to be so much fun. Top flap. Okay. So I am so excited that I get to have your undivided attention for a couple of hours today. I hope you are as excited to make this project as I am. What we will do is literally cut the paper, and then I'm going to say grab this, grab that, clip it together, flip it. Clip it, flip it, clip it, flip it. Tape it, clip it, flip it. And then when you're done, you'll flip it back and it all will be all in order and ready. And this will not go in your scrapbook kit graveyard because almost all of the work will be done. Okay? So like I said, if you guys have done some of my album classes before, this is about half of the product I normally use, right? Because this is a great thing on a weekend when you're doing multiple classes that I'm not going to kill you in the 3 hours that I have you. So you're going to love this. It's going to be awesome. And then I know Catherine's going to want it, the one that we're cutting apart. But I should send it to her and she has to tape it and put all the embellishments on, don't you think? In her spare time. I think she'd love it. Okay, so I'm going to move this aside. And I'm going to tell you guys, just grab your pattern paper cardstock, take the vellum out of the package, and we're going to put it in order of how we're cutting it. And I think it's super helpful with those amazing instructions that Kathy Z put together for us, because she's so smart, so clever, to open it to the cutting diagram page. Hi, Debbie. How are you? So everybody should be here. We're ready to go. We're going to start the paper cutting. I have my paper clips ready. We're going to put our paper in order. All right. So the first one I want you to grab is honeybee. Honeybees. So Virginia would love this because she does have bees and makes honey that she sends to us. So honeybee. And it has this beautiful yellow on the back. Right. So let's take that and then flip it. Did everybody find honeybee? The next paper is bird watching. It's this pretty pink dot. And then birds on the back. Makes sense, right? Yes, Erica can totally do it. She's going to keep it though, Catherine. She won't give it back. The next paper is Happy Day. And it has these cut aparts. All right. And the back side of this is, oh, look at it. Isn't that beautiful? The teal hearts. This is the color I thought Tim Holtz Distress ink would be today. This is what I was looking for. But I'm still really happy with what he came out with. I love this paper. Like, I am going to order, if I can still get it, a whole paper pack of it. Because I would use this over and over and over again. I love it. It's called Taking Notes. And the back side is this really pretty tile pattern. You're good, Tamara. Just start where I'm at right now. Start putting your papers in order. Get yourself comfortable. We got work to do, lady. This is Happy Growing. And it is the black floral. And the words. And here's another golden nugget. Are you ready? If you had something you had to do, like maybe you had to run out, and I know that sometimes your time isn't your own. If you're starting the cutting in the middle, start where I'm at. Or, here's the other thing, even though we are live, you can pause this video, go do what you need to do, and then cut what you need. Just by, you'll start where I've left off. But you are not live. So if you ask me a question, I might go, what? I won't know what you're talking about because I could be like 4 papers ahead of you. So just kind of know that. And if you want to work ahead, it's totally fine. Just own whatever you're cutting, right? So Gingham Grove is this beautiful gingham plaid. The back side is, I love this. Isn't that pretty? What is that called? A toile? A toile, I think. And then we have this Heidi Swap, which is Sunny Skies. It's upside down. Let's flip it. So it is this beautiful neutral rainbow, which I love. I've used this paper numerous times because this makes me happy. I include a paper like this in almost all of my collections because who doesn't have or hates clouds in a blue sky? I love it. Hello, Victoria. So we have this one, which is beautiful. This is near and dear to my heart because it has kind of a mixed media vibe. This is Mirage. And the back side is this grayish kind of animal-ish print, which Heidi is very known for. She wears it all the time too. She loves her animal prints. And then we have this beautiful floral, which is called Morning Meadow. And it has a grayish polka dot. And then this one I love, which is like a photo of the beach, which in this carefree line, she had like pictures of the mountain and stuff. They're really awesome. Love this paper. It's called Salty Air. Maybe one day I will get to smell some salty air again if I ever get to leave my house. And then the palm leaf on the back. Take your vellum out of the package and have that ready, and just be aware that there is like a front and back to this. It's duller on the back and it is darker on the front. Which earrings did I pick? A rainbow pair, but I'll have to show you later, Debbie. Hard to explain because there were like 10 of them there. We have the yellow cardstock and the black cardstock, and we are ready to rumble. You ready to go? Everybody good? Any questions before we get started? I hope we're good. I don't see anyone talking to me because now everybody's getting ready to cut. So I'm going to set my paper off to the side. I have my paper clips ready, right? Paper clips ready. I have 2 papers left over. Which pages do I have left over? What did I miss? 2 additional sheets. Tell me what it is, because I grabbed my kit. And maybe it was my partial kit. Oh, Vicki Booten, what is wrong with you? Country Arbor. I think they might be bonuses though, friends. Look. You have bonuses because they're not on my cutting diagram. So guess what? I think they're bonus papers, right? Let's look on my instructions that I'm not going to read all the time. Thank you for the work, Kathy, but I only write them for you guys. I just wing it. Look I think they're bonuses, friends. Look, they're not on our list. That's my gift to you. I made sure everyone had gifts. Beautiful Bows and Country Arbor. They're not in the written instruction either. So, see, it's a surprise. Surprise. It's homework. All right? So, they're not in my pack. So, that's awesome. I love it. So you can use those for mats, whatever you need. It's my, Vicki Booten's birthday gift to you guys. So it's an extra bonus, all right? So no panic. It's good. We still made a beautiful album, and I didn't even know we were missing 2 papers. So it's perfect, right? Did I miss Happy Growing? The black one? Probably, but don't worry about it. Just put it at the back and you'll know where it is. No stress, right? It's not even allowed in here because it makes us old. And because I'm hitting 50 tomorrow, I don't need any extra help. So I have my work surface is arranged. This is my little trick too. Are you out there, Allie? Do you remember this when we were in Italy? I taught in Italy. We went on this amazing adventure, and we went to this store that made recycled washable paper. It is called Ushi Mama or something. Uwashi Mama. Uwash Mama. And this is my little garbage can. I recommend grabbing something that you can put your bits in. It just makes cleanup at the end. This is where my backing for my photos, 3D pop dots, all of that kind of stuff, right? Yes, you have yours out too. It's the perfect thing, right, Allie, to use. You need a little container for your trash. So there's another little golden nugget, and it happens to be gold. All right, here we go. We're going to get started. So I'm going to start with this paper, and we're going to work our way across. So even though my instructions may be written differently, I'm going to cut it how my brain comprehends a square. All right? Do not cut your UPC strips off until the very end, or until I tell you. I didn't get the written instructions, V. Maybe you can email them to me, please. You should have a book, Carol. It all came in a book, right? I'm sure it's in your box. But guess what? You don't need it right now. You only need it when you go to put your embellishments on. And I will send it to you, or Catherine will take care of you if you don't have it. But right now, really, we're just doing the things. Is Mary here? My little Scottish friend? And I'm not even making you get messy today, Mary. Aren't you excited? So here we go, friends. If you're just joining us now, just grab your stack of paper. We're going to cut. We're going to do the math, and deep breath, just do what I tell you. Okay? We're going to start with honeybee. And I'm going to put it in my trimmer. like this. And if you didn't know this, your trimmer should have a ruler on it, right? I worked for Fiskars, and that's how you say it. It's Fiskars, like a pirate. And I didn't even know they had these on here because I always use my fingernail and a steel ruler back in my art days. So pull your ruler out, put your paper in, and the first piece we're going to cut is an 8x12. So I'm going to line the bottom of my paper with my barcode at the top down here. This is honeybees, and I'm going to cut an 8x12 inch piece. So don't overthink it. Just do what I'm telling you. Measure 8 inches and cut straight across. There's your 8x12. Keep the barcode on this piece. Because look I didn't want to lose that, and then we get a bigger piece when we go to cut it, okay? So set this aside, your 4 and a little bit by 12 aside. You have your 8-inch piece. By 12, we're going to turn it. So we're cutting out of the 12-inch length, okay? And you're going to cut a 6-inch piece, and I'm going to cut it out of the side that has this like little scripty bit on it. So I'm going to cut my 6-inch piece. Okay. And that goes in my cut pile. So I'm going to get my paper clip out, because this is what I'm going to clip everything to. There's my first piece is a 6x8. I am then going to cut a, let's do it like this. So I'm going to cut and decide how you want it, a 5 1/4 inch piece. But I'm going to flip it because I want that pretty little brown corner. And I'm going to cut a 5 1/4. If that hurts your head, just cut a 5 1/4, okay? So now I'm left with this little doobie. Does everybody have that? And I'm going to grab my border punch, and I'm going to punch a 8-inch strip out of this, okay? How's everybody doing? Do not cut your borders first ever in my class. I always use them, and it is a teaching tool for me. If you have your border on it, your UPC strip on there, it helps me control how you're going to cut the paper. So I never, ever, ever cut the border off the paper, okay? So here's my little trick. When you are cutting, and say we needed this full piece as a border, and I want the ends to finish the same way, meaning it's like a perfectly scalloped border, your border punch has a little line on it. Because back in the day, remember, we used to, if you've been around for a long time, we used to punch frames, and you'd want the corners of your frames to end or start or finish a certain way. So this is the center of your punched pattern. So I will take it. This one I could kind of eyeball because it's not that long, but I know that this is 8 inches. So if I line up the border and find, or that little notch, and put it at the 4-inch mark, and then I line up my little piece so it is centered on the 8-inch, then when I punch my border, it will finish the same on each end. So I will punch it, pull it out, and then I punch out of each end, okay? So if you're new to using border punches, like which patterns do you need? All of them. I love them, but I like a scallop, especially for mini books, because it's not too fussy and it won't tear if I'm using it for the edge of a mini book page. So I just go with a plain scallop. And now I will just punch it. And just make sure, because I said right at the beginning, don't, scrapbookers for some reason, and if you pull it out and you haven't punched that piece, just put it back in and punch it. For some reason in the scrapbook classes, the first thing that scrapbookers want to do is go and cut all their UPC strips off. And I'll tell you why that should not be a thing you do in a class. Because if the people or the person teaching it doesn't do it like I do and cut all the paper together, if you cut all your UPC strips off, you'll often not know which paper is sunny skies if there's not a sunny sky on it. So I always will say that in all of my classes is don't cut your UPC strips off till the end, because then if you need to remember what paper is what, you can find it, right? Old school scallop scissors. So here's your trick for that is I draw a pencil line and then I cut along the pencil line and you will get a perfectly scalloped edge. Yes, I love them. I wouldn't throw away my scallop scissors, right? Deco scissors. And we used to buy them. I remember going to Costco or Michael's and buying a tub of them with every single pattern on it back in the day when we used all the things. But do you see now how the border finished perfectly on both ends? So we are going to need pieces of this border. Do you want to trim it now? We can trim what we need and then it's ready. So please cut a 5 1/4 inch piece and that will give you the other piece that you need. So I'm going to put my border in here and cut 5 1/4. Okay, and then I will clip them. We still need to do something with this piece to my cut pile. So the piece here, the 5 1/4 by 8, is going to be a flap in the album. So here's another golden nugget. Are you ready for it? See, and I did, because I am very conscious of this stuff. Like, I didn't want to waste that little pretty brown corner. So that's why I get crazy and make you do stuff that you're like, why do we have to cut it that way? Because Vicky's a wacko. So this is going to be a layered double, triple flap. Okay? So when I score, I'm going to score my flaps at a 1/4 inch. So ayúdame. Chicas, muy importante. Okay? What size double-sided tape are you using? If you're using a 1/4 inch double-sided tape, you are not going to score your flaps at a 1/4 inch. I use 1/8. If you are using 1/8, you scored a 1/4 inch. If you're using a 1/4 inch, you're going to score slightly wider than a 1/4 inch so you don't have any tape malfunctions. Okay? So when I go to score, I'm going to score all of my flaps at a 1/4 inch because I'm using 1/8 inch double-sided tape. If you're using tape wider than this, you need to score accordingly. The other thing you'll keep in mind is if you're using tape that's wider than what I am, you are going to lose some of the real estate in your pockets. I don't know if it's going to affect it so much in this class as it does in other classes that I do, but if that's the case, sometimes the insert going in the pocket may need to be trimmed because your tape is wider and the pocket opening isn't going to be the same size. Okay? Hopefully that's not too much info, but you'll see what I'm talking about when we get there. So I want you to take this B paper, and on the left-hand side, I'm going to score a 1/4 inch. I am going to take it and flip it because I like to score on the back side of my fold. And I'm going to put it in here. And remember, I'm really fancy. I did not grab a scoring tool, so I just use whatever I can get in the well. And I score it, and now we're going to put it in our cut pile. Okay, let's do a check. How's everybody doing? Is that okay? We're straight with that? Okay, so here we go. In my cut pile. So now we have this piece left, and it's super easy. We're just going to cut what we need. If you look on the cutting diagram, we're going to cut 2 pieces. The 7 1/2 inch piece is going to keep the border strip on it, and I'll cut it off of the other piece. So let's just go ahead and cut out of your remaining 12 by 4 inch piece with the border strip still on it. So here's something, friends. If you already cut the UPC strip off of it, it's all okay. It's just like a little added pretty element for the 7 1/2 inch piece, but because it's going to go in the pocket, if you don't have it on there, it's all okay. Nobody's going to come and check. Okay? Going to keep the barcode on that. It's going in my cut pile. And I like to, in my cut pile, make sure that I put both sides of the paper represented. So I make sure I flip it and I have a back side and a front side. So when we're madly trying to find all the pieces we need as we start to assemble. I don't have someone going, because I can hear you at home, going, I don't have that paper, where's that paper, I can't find it. It might just be this, right? You just have to flip it. So I'm going to cut the barcode off of this piece. Keep it aside. You might want to use it for a little flag banner. What was Megan saying? Everybody calls it different things. Kite end, and didn't even know that. So I learned something. What was the measurement for the scoring? 1/4 inch, because Desiree, I'm using 1/8 inch double-sided tape. So again, that is all going to be dependent on what size double-sided tape you're using. And here's another golden nugget. When you're making interactive mini albums, you really want to have double-sided tape, because your tape runner is not going to be strong enough for like opening and closing and layering photos on top. So you want to get a good double-sided tape. You also don't want to use a wet glue. You can if you want, because you're the boss of your project, but I wouldn't recommend it. This is why I carry this on my shop. I put it in my instructions. I put it in your tool list because I love it. And this one is Sukwang. I love the red double-sided one. I have the one from American Crafts. I have tons of them. You love my golden nuggets. I know Jess Forrester's collecting them, and she's going to make a beautiful piece of jewelry with the golden nuggets, right? What was that one? I'm not sure what you're asking, Desiree. What was what one? Which one was this tape? I use ATG on your first album, and many of the flaps are falling off. Doubles, and you know what? I don't tell you guys just because I want you to have to buy more things. I only provide you with the information that I think is going to be helpful. Okay? So even if you don't have it, just clip it, order some double-sided tape, and glue it down later. You will trust me. And Sharon is here. She's telling you 3 millimeters. Even though I'm Canadian, I have to know what it is because of my age. I'm a Vicki of a certain age, that I understand all my math and all of my measurements, half in imperial and half in metric. So I don't even know what 3 millimeters is. Isn't that crazy? Sharon, I would only know this as an eighth, because it's just what they did to us in education back then when they switched it halfway through our education, right? So I'm using bird watching. Are you noticing that the first cuts are all going to be vertical cuts, not horizontal, because we don't want our birds going sideways. So we are going to cut the barcode off, and we're going to cut 3 or 4 strips vertically out of the paper. Okay? Vicki of a certain age. I'm telling you, it is. Although, like I told you, I have the mentality of a 16-year-old. All right, I'm going to cut the barcode off of this, so that's going to freak you out because I told you not to, but I don't need it on this paper. But we need it because it's pretty. And I'm going to show you another golden nugget. Set it aside. So now I cut my barcode off. What am I going to do? I'm going to turn my paper and make my cuts out of the side. I don't care which side we start on, but let's just do it like this, okay? So now, everyone, depending on how you hold your trimmer, your first cut is going to slice through the diagonal lines, okay? Here we go. We're going to cut a 3-inch strip to start. So just put it in your trimmer and listen to the math, okay? Put it in your trimmer, find the 3-inch, and cut a 3 by 12-inch strip, okay? Don't even take your paper out of the trimmer, because now you're going to slide it in and cut a 1-inch by 12-inch strip. Anyone else confused when we go off subject? I'm trying so hard to focus. Okay, I'll just do the cutting if that's helpful. Okay? So, everyone, 1-inch strip. And now what you have left are 2 4-inch strips. And don't, guys, freak out. Really, just put it in your trimmer. And I'm trying to go very slow so everybody should cut and should be able to follow along. What we're going to do now is what we have left is an 8-inch piece. We're going to cut 2 4 by 12-inch strips. Okay? Now set all of your strips, and I usually will put them like this so I don't have to get my ruler out. So I know the 1 inch is on top, the 3-inch and 2 4-inch pieces. Okay? And keep your barcode, because when we go to do our cut pile, we'll clip our barcode to it and it helps us find the paper. Okay? The other thing I want you to know, if you are new to my classes, see down here, anything you see with a straight line is a cut. Anything that you see with a dashed line is a score line. And like I told you guys before, the hardest thing you're going to do in a class is the paper cutting. So all you have to do is just follow along, do exactly what I'm telling you, and you will be fine. A lot of this paper is going to be mats. Okay? I love the pink side of this, so a lot of it's going to be mats. I love the birds too, but I really love the pink side. So grab your 3 by 12 and you're going to cut 3 4-inch pieces. So they're going to be, I'm just going to do it on the pink side. Measure 4 inches now. This is the 3 by 12. Measure 4 inches. So that's 1 3 by 4. 2 3 by 4s. And that gives me my third 3 by 4. And now I will take these and I will clip them with the barcode, because someone did this in one of my classes and I thought it was brilliant, because if you are putting it together later and you're like, which one was bird watching? You have your barcode clipped to your cut pile. And of course, then if we're not using it, right? So I will clip those and stack them. Do you understand now the paper clips? This will keep everything super organized because we're cutting so many little pieces of paper. And now I am going to grab my 1 inch by 12 inch and I'm going to cut a 5-inch piece off of it. 5-inch by 1 inch. And we're going to create a scallop border from this piece. Okay? Your little 5-inch by 1-inch piece, I'm going to round 2 of the corners on it because it is going to be a little title strip later. Okay? So just take it and round 2 of, or along 1 edge, right? Does that make sense? And look at my trimmer blade is not the cleanest. So sorry, Erica, when you get this album. I should have put a new trimmer blade on. But I find these mini books, I will go through a trimmer blade each time. There's so much paper cutting. How did you lose me, Karen? Anyone else? Just go out, Karen, if you can see it. Just type Karen a message and say if she lost connection, it's her connection, because I can still see it, to just go out and come back in. Okay, go out and come back in. So what do we have left? We have this piece. Let's just scallop it while Karen's trying to find it. It's your connection. Just always remember that it happens. It's not the video, but if you lose connection, just refresh or go out and come back in. Okay? So I'm going to do the same thing I did before, and I'm going to punch a border. Just decide what side you want it on. This is the more jacked side with my nasty trimmer blade. This one I'm not going to measure because I can eyeball it when it's this small. And I'm going to punch right in the center because I am very type A, even if you guys didn't know that. And it has to end perfectly for me on both ends, okay? And we punch in the middle. We line up. And here's the other thing. I'm really going to recommend that to get, if you have struggle with border punches and you never get a straight border, when I'm in class, I see some people hold their border punch and then punch. I see them do it in all different ways. using it. I think putting it in front of you and pushing your paper into it, because it's not moving, is probably the most stable way to punch. This is the section that has the pattern in it, so just know that that's where you're punching. This is not going to make a pattern. This is the pattern that you use to line up what you've cut to create a perfectly punched pattern. Not all border punches are created the same either. Some of the super intricate patterns you want to have because you think they're awesome, I would buy those in steel ruled dies. I would not buy them in border punches, because anyone out there know what I'm talking about. Those punches get jammed all the time. I like the super basics for my border punches, but I love that I don't have to grab a machine, and that's why I love the border punches. Okay, so see, now the ends of my pattern are okay with my twitchy type A personality. Yes, that is a great tip, Lisa. Washi tape is your friend. So if you cut instead of scoring, it's an opportunity for embellishment, right? You can't make a mistake in my class. You are not even allowed to stress out, because I will find you a solution for anything. Okay, any questions? Have I missed anything? I did some pre-cut, so now I am assembling. Awesome. You own the kit, you do whatever you want. Here's the funny thing though. Think about it. When you do these online classes, if you were in person, you would never have your kit ahead of time. And I just feel like that's what we're here for, right? That's why I'm like, don't pre-cut, come and hang out with me. But I know for some people it's super helpful, especially if they have anxiety around doing the class and the pace. That pre-cutting is super helpful. But I always say, you're doing all the heavy lifting without me. Friend, let me grab the other end of the paper couch, right? Do you prefer border punches or old school scissors because they cut straighter? My border punches cut perfectly straight, Lainey, because of the tip I just gave you. I think a border punch is way faster than the scissors. I have them, but I use the punches. And you know, if you take my classes, that is a basic tool in every single class, right? So I have these 2 strips left. They're both 4 inches. Let's cut the pieces. I don't care which one you use. Look, both of them have that pretty edge. There's probably method to the madness, but look, I'll go in order. So see if you put them together, and the middle piece is the one that has this branch with the birds. So at least I'm cutting exactly where I cut it apart. I don't think it's going to matter, but we can do the things. So let's cut an 8-inch piece, and that will leave us with a 4-inch. Okay, 8-inch and a 4-inch. Don't scallop any edges or anything, or pardon me, around the corners till we get to assembling, because sometimes there's little tricks, all right? So I'm going to clip those 2 pieces. It's done. And guess what? This is a total brain rest. We just need 2 6-inch mats out of here. So it's the last 4-inch piece. Let's cut 2 6-inch mats. And we're done. The second piece of paper. How's everyone doing out there? Any questions as we're going? I made a cutting error in Megan's class and used washi tape to complete some surgery. 100%. You know, we talk about that all the time. And here's the other thing, friends. You can't really make a mistake, because you can change it. And maybe you cut a 4 by 6 in half. It's okay. One, I feel like you have some scrapbook paper in your stash. I feel like you could find something. And the other thing is, don't stress over that. No one is going to come around with a ruler and make sure you did it exactly the same way that we did. I always say it's opportunity for embellishment, or you're just taking the long way home, right? You just switched it up. There's no mistakes. All right? And I'm sure Megan said, and I see her saying it right now, it's creative license. Yeah, you can't make a mistake. Don't stress, okay? So I feel like I've got you warmed up, and now we have this paper to cut out. Because there's a lot of pretty going on here and a lot of different things I want to use this paper for, we are going to do a couple of different things with this, all right? The top piece we're going to cut mats out of, or cut them apart. The bottom piece we're going to cut the tags out of, and we're going to cut a couple different things out of the middle. All right? So I am going to take this, and I'm going to start by just cut along the art. I'm going to cut the strip of tags out, and then I'm going to cut the tags apart. You can't, like I'm telling you, and plus I'm pretty seasoned. Sorry if my head's in there. I have to remember type A. I got to make sure I cut straight. I've been teaching these classes for a very long time. It is one of my favorite things to teach. It's one of people's favorite things to come and take are the album classes, right? So don't be stressed. It's not even allowed, because I'm telling you, I'm going to help you work through it. After you take one, I think you're comfortable and you know you'll be safe. So I cut the tag strip out. What am I going to do? I'm going to cut the tags apart. So let's go in and just cut. And if you don't cut them perfectly, it's okay. You can trim the piece that you might not have cut perfectly. Let's go in here and cut our tags apart. How's everybody doing? Is your stress level going down? Because if we were in class, like, I'd read the room and I'd know. And after we do it, just a couple, you're like, it's okay. And plus, it's a piece of paper, friends. Like I said, I feel fairly confident that this isn't the only pattern paper you have. So if you make a little boo-boo, it's all good. Yeah, oopsies equal opportunity. I love it. So I cut my tags apart. I'm going to grab my scissors, and I'm just going to cut them into tags. Okay? Here we go. So you can use your paper trimmer, whatever you want. I just think scissors are faster. You certainly could, if you are so inclined, later take your hole punch and you could punch the centers out. Some of these you could add twine or whatever when the tags are in your book. Whatever you want to do to embellish it and make it your own is totally good and fun with me. Just keep trucking, friends, okay? Cut your bits off, get all your pieces ready. If you don't feel like you need to do this now, don't do it now. Especially if you're feeling that the trimming, you're having a hard time keeping up. Because some people do. And I think it's because you can't get out of your head. It's very hard to give the control up to someone when it comes to the math. And once you guys have taken one of my classes, you will see that it's okay because you can trust me. Even if I make an error in the cutting and I guide you down the garden path, it's happened, I always will find a solution for it. Because sometimes, right, I'm working along and I read something differently because I'm human. It can happen. We always will find a solution. So no stress. Deep breath. It's all good. Okay, gonna clip my tags together. And let's go in here. And this paper, I love. The front side of it, and I will tell you guys, when you are buying scrapbook collections, always buy multiple sheets of the cut-aparts. Because once you cut them and use all this beautiful art, you don't want to lose the opportunity of what's on the B side, right? Yeah, garden path with your gnomies. I love it. Virginia. You know that I think Catherine's a freak because she doesn't like the gnomes, but I still love her. Cut your little row of tags out, right? I'm just gonna, it's easier for me to do it this way. I'm gonna cut my row of tags. Tickets. They're tickets, Vicki. In Canada, these are called tags. No, they're not. They're tickets. Okay? Cut the tickets out. We're gonna cut a border piece out of it, but just let's clip it for now. We'll cut it when we need it. All right? Just gonna clip it. And then I'm gonna cut my barcode off. So I'm just using the art, right? Use the art as your guide. There's no measurement on this. I'm just using the art as the guide. I'm going to cut this row with the bunny, the butterflies, and the house. I'm gonna cut it out. And I'm gonna cut these ones apart. So I believe, see this one here with the flowers? is what we're going to punch some circles and stuff out of, but I'm going to recommend this. Let's wait till the end to punch the circles, because maybe you're going to decide, I love this one, but I don't like bunnies. They freak me out. Then you can punch out of that one. So don't punch any circles out right now. Just cut your pieces apart, and then you can make the executive decision when we come to where we're using which one you want to use for your circle punches, okay? So I'm going to cut the art out of the top row. Here we go. So friends, cutting the paper collectively is where the reason, okay, like I said, I've been scrapbooking and teaching it for many, many, many moons. And I found in a class setting where there's going to be any mistakes is in the paper cutting, because none of our brains compute a square the same way and how you would cut it apart. So I used to just give measurements and say cut the paper, and I quickly discovered that that is when it all can go to you know what. So I find cutting the paper together is because you have to share my brain, because I'm the one teaching the class, right? So you need to share my brain. So I'm going to just cut these 4 apart, and we'll decide later what we're punching out of, okay? So for now, just cut these 4 middle tags apart. There's always method to the madness. And my brain is a scary place, and that's, you're joining me today in the scary place. But I use every single piece of paper, you will notice. So just keep doing it. You're doing great. Okay, we're done that paper, friends, because we're not going to punch anything right now. Because I'll let you decide what you want to punch out of later. Okay, so there we go. Barcode. 3 papers down. We are rocking it. Love that you hold our hands. Well, you know what? I don't want you to come and take my class and hate it, right? So it's my job to make this as painless as possible. You pay to come here and do this. It should be fun. If it's not fun, I'm not doing something right. So that's just kind of the way I think of it. So how's everybody doing? I want to make sure that we're good. We're going to cut out of taking notes. And it's this beautiful paper. No, Lainey, and Lainey just said it's her first class, and I just realized we won't finish the entire album. There's no way you would finish an entire album in 3.5 hours. Ever. Ever, ever, ever. But I'm telling you, you will have everything clipped and organized, and it probably will take you a number of hours to finish it, because if you're like me, I like to stick my stickers down like I am a surgeon, a plastic surgeon. Everything has to be perfectly straight. If we were to finish this album, we would need, even when you come and take my bigger classes, and we're in there for 5 or 6 hours, we never finish an album together, ever. And I'm totally okay with that, because I think a lot of times if we finish the class, you're not getting as much. And any of the ladies out there who are teaching layouts will tell you the same thing. We could finish the class, but I have to take half the pages out. So I always say you get more bang for your buck to add the jewelry, and you can personalize it, switch things out. So never. Some of my classes are 8+ hours, and it is just literally assembly, because it takes me 3 days to make one, and especially when they're that intricate and layered, right? So no, never going to finish it. But to me, it's more bang for your buck. And just know that now, because it's, and this is in no way, it sounds like I'm yelling at you. I'm not. But you will never, none of my classes are start and finish ever, ever, ever. Right? And I don't think anybody is really, after you take one, it's never a thing. And especially when we have right now 600 people cutting paper with me, I have to go at a pace that's comfortable for the majority. So I would whip through this way faster if I was doing it on my own, right? But we have to pace it for everybody. So yeah, you'll never finish it. You will finish it, but just not with me. Okay? So look at this paper, we're going to do the same thing. The art is going to define where we're cutting it. That's why there are no measurements on your cutting diagram. We're going to start by cutting 3 strips, which are about 4 inches, right? They're, I think, 4 inches, but just cut the art. So let's go. Yes, and I find, and here's the other thing you're going to find, we're doing the not fun part, the math and the assembly together. The sticking the stickers on and the jewelry is the fun part, right? It's the most fun part. So I have never had anyone complain about having to put the album together. I've had people message me after a class and say they hated all of the paper cutting and the intricacy of all of the cuts, and they thought that they hated that everything was in a 4x6. And I'm like, that's fine, that's your prerogative, but I'll tell you something, you're never going to have that in my class. It's not how my brain works. And I'm all right with that. It's just, that's okay. Go pick somebody else's class to take and you'll be super happy, and we're both happy, right? See the last piece I cut here? So it's the one with the date, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This piece with the staples. I'm going to cut 2 6-inch mats from this, okay? 2 6-inch mats. Rebecca, you wouldn't believe some of the messages that I get that I'm like, oh my goodness, I would never email anyone and talk to them that way. But, you know, it's all good. I always think that some people probably, who knows what's going on in their lives. Some people are really unhappy. And that's okay. I can take it. I just will always respond in kindness. So the first piece, the top piece, the last piece I cut 2 6-inch mats from it. I'm not going to round the corners yet, because this is again going to give you an option of maybe you love this because you have a great idea for this one that you can decide where you're going to use it, okay? So let's just take that. I'm going to clip it and start my clip with my UPC strip. The one thing I hate about a new can of paper clips is that somehow they all want to be hugging. Drives me crazy. So I will clip this to that. And now, oh my goodness, I don't remember what the middle strip is. I think this is the middle strip, right? So see the title, the pink lined, the grid and noted in pink. We're going to cut it into 2 6-inch pieces, so cut it in half. Okay. This side with noted and this pretty little grid is going to stay as a 6-inch piece. I'll put it in my cut pile. And then this piece I love, I'm going to cut into 2 3x4s. So the piece with 1, 2, 3. And this pretty little pink stripe piece are going to be 2 3x4s. Are we okay with that? Can you guys see it? Cut that piece in half. And then hopefully everybody is still with me. We're going to cut this piece in half again. And the piece that has the little turquoise bit is going to stay as the 4x6. And then we'll cut the other side in half. I love this paper because we're going to use some of these, and this is totally a Jess Forrester kind of thing. It's going to go in the pocket like this because I can journal on one side and add a little photo on the other. So that's why I opted not to cut all of it apart. Right? I wanted some in the full pocket page. Now I have beautiful art that looks like I layered it, but I didn't have to do any extra work. So make sure you flip one of them in case you're looking for that side. So at least you'll know when you're quickly looking at all your cut pieces of paper that, oh, that's where that one is. And then cut this piece with yes and no and the kind of yellowy piece in half. And we're done another paper. We are rocking. I'm so proud of you guys. You're doing a great job. And now I feel like we're working away, and everybody should, I think, feel pretty comfortable with paper cutting. I love this paper. This one is called Happy Growing. You're going to keep the UPC strip. So we'll cut it off. It's not attached, but we're keeping it because look how pretty that is. That's just an opportunity to add to our project. So we are going to cut it. Love the little pansies on the black. I love it too. Yeah, right? I think that's cut off. UPC strip, right? Is there anything? We are the Borg. I love it. You're sharing my brain. Let me look at my written instructions because sometimes I wrote these a long time ago. And let me tell you something. I write very detailed instructions for you guys, but I hate writing instructions. Keep the UPC strip. So we don't need to keep it on. We just need to use it later for some borders and stuff. So let's trim it. Because this paper we're going to cut vertically, not horizontally. So cut your UPC strip. Then take it and turn it. It's because there's words on the back. So if it's easier, put the word side up. So we're going to cut through the sentences. Okay? We are going to cut a 1-inch strip. And I'm going to start on the left side of the paper. A 1-inch strip. We're going to cut a 6 3/4 inch strip, 6 3/4. How's everyone doing out there? How are my friends in Puerto Rico and Bolivia? Is everybody doing okay? Is the pace okay? 6 3/4, and that leaves us with a 4 1/4 strip. Okay. Grab your 1x12. And cut an 8.5 inch piece and a 3.5 inch piece. So I'm just going to cut the 3.5 off the bottom because I'm just following the diagram. I'm sure we're using this side, but just do that, okay? So again, 3.5 and 8.5. I'm going to do this right now. So I'm going to trim a little flag banner out of the bottom. You have the option of cutting up the middle. I'll cut up the middle and come in from the sides, or I will take it corner to corner like that and then trim it. And just make sure you trim from the open sides, because if you trim from the side that's attached, you get a pennant instead of a flag border. Okay? And I will clip these 2 pieces with my barcode. I'm so happy that you're here. Oh, Kendra is delayed. So when you get here, Kendra, just know, because I was reading going, I don't understand what we're talking about. And then I realized that she just is not live. You're not live with me, so I understand. And Shannon, I'm from the Niagara region. Does that count? So here we go. Okay. Let's take now the 6 3/4 inch piece, and we're going to cut out of the 12-inch length. Okay, I'm going to cut a 5-inch piece. So 5-inch by 6 3/4. Slide it in and cut a 2-inch piece. And that leaves you with a 5-inch piece. Okay. So I'm pretty sure when we put this together, it's going to be a stacked pocket somewhere. So we'll punch our little half circle when we get to that page, because I'm not sure if it goes this way or that way. I'm going to think I probably did this, but I don't know. So just don't punch that half circle. When we get to that spot, we'll punch it. Okay? So I'm going to clip these in my cut pile. Guess what, Shannon? I'm in St. Catharines too. I know Shannon, so it's funny that. And Jen Backler, I know you too. I just cut off a pansy. Aw, I love it. So cute, this paper. Love it. See this piece? It's going to be a flap. So do you see on it, here it's a little different. So see that piece there? It's the 5 by 6 3/4. We're going to score a 3 1/4 inch little flap. Normally I only score a 1/4 inch, but this is going to go in one of the page protectors and we need a little bit more clearance. Okay? So I'm going to take this, and your words are not going, they're on the back. They are going to be sideways, so don't panic about that, okay? You're going to take this, and I'm going to score along the 5-inch length, a 6 score, not cut, a 3/4 inch flap. So with my fancy scoring tool, I'm going to score that. And when we build, it is going to go in this pocket page. See? So you don't need to fold it or anything. Just put it in your cut pile. It's ready to go. And Vicki, don't mess your stuff up because then you won't know what you're doing and it doesn't take much to confuse me. So everyone should still have their 4 1/4 by 12 inch piece. So I need you to cut a 7 3/4 inch piece from this, and that will leave you with a 4 1/4 inch square. So what was the measurement? 7 3/4, and that leaves you the 2 pieces that you need. And I will put that in my cut pile. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry, Dora. You know what the trick is just start where I am now. So don't try to catch up. Just start cutting the paper that I'm cutting now. And then you'll have to go back and watch, or start from the beginning, and you don't need to do this live with me, right? Start from the beginning, but no panic. How is he doing? He took, Dora was saying that her son took a hit in lacrosse and she just spent 2 hours in the ER. I hope he's okay. And guess what? This is crafting for fun, so no stress. I love you even if you didn't start at the beginning with us. Even though we're doing it live, it's all recorded. So do it at your pace, deep breath, big hugs, mama, and we're fine. Okay? Here we go. That is another paper done. Put it in your cut pile. Do you see why the paper clips are magic? Can you imagine if you hadn't clipped this together and they were everywhere? And then we go to assemble and you can't find anything? It is something someone did in one of my classes that had taken my classes for a long time, and it is magic. And everyone, this is a tool. If you said, what are the most important tools, Vicki, in your crafting experience? And I'd say everyone who cuts paper should have lots of paper clips. That's why I sell them too, because I'm like, we need pretty ones. So whenever I find them, I add them in there. Are we ready, friends, for Gingham Grove? You are doing great. Okay? Gingham Grove. And I told you the paper cutting will take about an hour, right? We're a little bit over that, but we will be fine. I just want to make sure everybody's going at a good pace. Some of you are probably cutting ahead because you're like, this is too slow for me. Do whatever's making you happy, okay? So let's go ahead and trim the barcode off. But I did talk for a long time at the beginning too, didn't I? I do have a problem with the chattiness. I'm going to be cutting again, because see, the art kind of dictates how I cut the paper. So if it's easier, cut on the étoile side of this, the toile side of this. We're going to be cutting vertical strips. So put that in your trimmer and trim 2 3x12s. Two 3x12s. And that leaves you with a 6x12. Let's cut out of the 6x12 first, okay? So I'm going to do it exactly like the diagram, and I'm going to cut a 11-inch piece off the bottom of the page, or a 1-inch piece off the top, however you're cutting it, okay? So there's my little 1 inch by 6 inch that I'll just clip right now in my cut pile. Whoop. Okay. And then this is going to be a top flap in a pocket. So let me show you so you have a visual reference. Where are you, little friend? Because it also helps me to know, like, look how pretty that page is. So the scored piece is going to be a top flap, and then the 12 side is going to be showing, okay? So let's take that piece, and you're going to score. So what I'm going to do is flip it, friends, because it's how I'm scoring, okay? And I'm going to score a 2.5 inch strip. And even though it says to round the corners on this, on my page, I didn't round the corners, so don't round the corners. So I am scoring 2.5 inches at the top of this 11 inch strip. So 2.5, score. Okay. And when it goes in your pocket, it will go like this and will be a top flap. In your cut pile. And now I will take one of the 3 inch strips, doesn't matter, and let's do the easy cut, and we'll cut again some 3x4s. So we're going to put it in there. We're going to measure 4 inches. We'll cut twice, and that will give us 3 3x4 inch pieces. Okay, I'll put both sides showing. It's super helpful. And now I am left with this 3x12 inch piece. I'm going to cut a 7 inch piece and a 5 inch piece. Well, when I cut the 7 inch, I'll be left with the 5 inch, right? This is going to be a gated flap or a waterfall flap in the book, right? So here, because remember I told you a little bit type A, and I like things to be a certain way because we're going to be using both sides of that paper. I'm going to give you this option because I think it's helpful to share these things that you're kind of aware of as you're doing your paper cutting, is that one of these, right, is going to be the 12 side. One of them is going to be the opposite side. So if you're like me, I don't want my 12 to be upside down when I open my flap. So when I do the smaller piece is 12 side up, I'm going to score my 1/4 inch at the top. Don't fold these because those flaps are the only flap in the book that don't actually get folded. They get all glued together. So I scored the 1/4 inch on this one. And because Vicki is a wacko, when this flips up, if I flipped it on that side, my deer would be upside down. I don't want that. So I need to be aware of when this flap flips up, I want them to, the house and everything isn't upside down. So you're going to score your 1/4 inch at the bottom of the blue side. So now when it flips, it's not upside down. Okay. And I will put those together in my pile because I know they're going to go together in the book. Yay! Kind of, right? All right, friends, we're done another paper. Let's grab Sunny Skies. We're moving from Maggie to my friend, Heidi. And because we just like to confuse you at American Crafts, let's put the barcode on the bottom of this page, right? Let's put the barcode on the bottom. Go ahead and cut it off. But again, I love barcodes or UPC strips that put the art right across because it's I love having the 12-inch option. So I'm going to cut my barcode off of one of my favorite pieces of paper, and you've seen a paper just like this in my collection as well, because who doesn't like clouds? I love, love, love them. Okay, so I'm going to take this and put it so the art is going the right way, and we are going to cut, because we could cut this either way, we're still going to get the same math, but let's turn it and cut it vertically, 2 6 by 12-inch pieces. So 2 6 by 12-inch pieces. So see, now my rainbows aren't upside down. I've got 2 6 by 12. And I am going to cut an 8-inch and a 4-inch piece from both of them. So I'll measure 8 inches. That gives me my 4 by 6. I'm going to do the same with this one. 8 inches, and that will give me my 4 by 6 that I can clip with my barcode with a cloud side up and a rainbow side up. And then one of these is going to be a full page in your album, so just, I don't think it matters. Decide. I'm not too worried about it. And one of them is going to be a flap in the book. So let's see where we're using it so we can decide if it's rainbow or cloud side up, and then we don't want stuff to be upside down. Okay? It is, of course, cloud side up, but rainbows have to be upside down, otherwise our clouds are upside down. So we're just going to score. And guess what? It is this piece that I used. So we're going to score, depending on which tape you're using. I'm going to flip it and score a 1/4 inch at the top. I lost my pen / scoring tool. Again, it's all dependent on what size of double-sided tape you're using. And I'm going to round the bottom corners. How's everyone doing out there? I know you guys are working hard. I'm losing some of you because this is a long class, right? And some people are probably leaving to go have a snack or a drink. But it's fine. It's all recorded. You can do it at whatever pace. And some of you might have worked ahead and all your paper's cut. So you're like, I'm just going to go take a break until Vicki is ready to go on to the next part. In my pile, and I'm ready to move on to the next paper. We need Mirage. Okay, Mirage is the one that looks like a pretty mixed media. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut the barcode off. Make sure it's straight. Get that ready. Paper clip. It happens, Colleen. I do it all the time. If I organize my stuff, I lose my stuff. I'm going to cut out of the vertical again, okay, friends? So I know the barcode just came up here. I'm just going to follow my sketch, and I'm going to cut 2 6 by 12-inch pieces out of this paper. Okay, 2 6 by 12s. I'm going to cut the 8-inch piece out of the top, because I'm going to follow my sketch, because I probably drew it that way for a reason. So you have an 8-inch and a 4-inch piece. So let's just cut the 4-inch off the bottom. This is going to go in my cut pile. It's going to be a full page in the album. Eek. And then the piece that you have left here is a 4 by 6. Turn it so you're cutting out of the 6-inch length, and cut 2 3 by 4-inch mats. Okay. And they can go in your cut pile. This is not going to be cut. It's going to be scored because it is going to be a flap. All right. So we're not going to cut this piece. We're going to score it. So you are going to, I'm not even worrying about which side or whatever, because I'm looking at my book and I actually use the other side of this paper is in my album, but we don't care. It all works out just fine. So I am going to score a 5 1/4 inch flap, and we can decide what goes on that. We're going to cover most of it. So I'm going to score it from this side. Okay. 5 1/4 inches. Of course, you know I score on the opposite side of everything. So let me score it. If this is confusing you, I will show you what's going to happen here. So I scored on that end. It is going to be a flap in my book. Like this. Side flap. And if you didn't cut super straight, like I didn't, I'll just trim it. Because nobody needs to know. Just cut it off. And now it's nice and clean. Okay? And you can round the corners on your 5 1/4 inch flap. And it goes in your cut pile. It's all ready to go. Almost. As soon as we're done the paper cutting, we'll do a quick bathroom break, drink, stretch break. And I'm just going to keep trucking here. The next one is super easy. You're going to grab Morning Meadow and you're going to cut 2 6 by 12 inch pieces off of it. And you don't have to score this. We're just going to fold it, okay? So cut the border off of, or the UPC strip off of Morning Meadow. And then cut 2 6 by 12 inch pieces horizontally. Okay, so I'm going to cut 2 6 by 12 inch pieces so that the roses aren't cut in half, right? And then this is going to be what I call a double folded flap. So you will see in a minute, it's going to make sense when I show you. It's going to be the roses side up, and we're going to fold it so we have these double folded side flaps. So take each piece, so start with the polka dot side up, right? Take it, fold it in half. You don't need to score this, just line up your ends. Fold it in half. Okay. I find doing it like this too is I won't get where the little paper tears, and it sometimes happens with scoring. So once you fold it in half, open it, and on this piece I'm going to fold the right hand side in half again, so that 6 inch piece is going to be folded into 2 3 inch flaps, which matches the math I'm showing you on the page. And then now I have a double sided flap. And what I love is it's all out of a piece of paper. We're doing all of this awesome stuff out of paper. It's not a huge expense, right? They're going to go in the album like this. So you're going to fold in half again with your second piece. Line up your edges. I could make mini albums all day long. If somebody said there's only one thing you can make, I'd pick a mini book because I could do all the things in my mini album, right? So now open it and fold the left hand side in half again. So it will be 2 3 by 6 inch flaps. And then to make this easy, watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this, because this is how it's going to be in the book, and I'm going to clip it together. So when we get to this page, we can add to the front, open it up, whatever we need in the middle, it closes. So you don't end up building your pages upside down, clip it together, and I'm going to leave this one as its own. But it can go in my pile. I laugh that we started with 600 and we're down to 585. I want to know where everybody went. They ran away. Morning Meadow, was that? Yes. I don't know what I clipped this to. No. Oh. Nope, I'm clipping two things together. That's what's happening. Okay. I don't know what Vicky's doing over here. Yay. Okay, we're on to Salty Air, which is the paper that looks like the beach. Paper that looks like the beach. And we are going to cut. So see how that 8-inch piece is out of the bottom of the paper? Because I want the sand to be at the top of that cut. So see? You're going to make sure when you cut this piece, it's out of the bottom of the paper. So cut your barcode off. And then just slide the paper right into your trimmer. So do whatever, like that. This is wonky what I'm doing. You don't have to do it that way. It's hard to keep it straight. I laugh because when Jen was talking about being on HSN before, what the funny thing is my head probably was in the camera, and it's very hard when you're doing some of this stuff not to have your face over top of your cuts, right? And I remember going on, I've been on HSN and I was on the shopping channel in Canada, and on the shopping channel I had to put jewelry together. Do you know how hard it is to open jump rings this far away from your body? I was sweating all over the place. It was a terrible experience. So once you get the barcode off, look I didn't take it out of the trimmer. I'm going to slide that in, and I'm going to cut my 8 by 12 inch piece out of the surf. Okay, so measure 8 inches, and I'm going to cut it out of the surf. So 8 by 12. So our little piece that's left is going to be a pocket. So just keep that together, or keep it like that. It's not a cut, it's a score. Take this piece, turn it, and just cut a 3-inch piece off of the one side. It doesn't matter which side. Okay, the 3 by 8 is going to go in the cut pile, and we're going to score on this one. It's going to be a side flap. Okay. Doo-doo. So this page is going to be a side flap. So let's see, is my picture make sense? I'm scoring actually, so see in the picture, no, I'm right, I did it right. So we're going to score 3-inch flap off the right hand side. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to flip it and score 3 inches. Where did my pen slash? Vicky's losing stuff. There. Okay. 3-inch flap. Ish is fine. Just score a flap. Fold it. And there we go. Okay. And it goes in my cut pile. So we still have this piece left, and it is going to be a pocket. Let's find it. So see, it's a pocket. This stuff all comes in and out. So we're going to take that, and on the palm leaf side, I am going to score a 3 3/4 inch piece. 3 3/4. If it's ish is fine. And then that will get folded up and we'll make a pocket. Okay, and let's put it in our cut pile. Hello, Jennifer Tryon. How are you, friend? There's always method to the madness. I do it this way for a reason, because I am old. And I've been teaching for a long time. We are so close, friends. We have this vellum to cut, 2 pieces of cardstock, and we're going to do 2 of the binder pages, and then you get a quick break, and then we get right back to work. I can't wait until we're in non-COVID time, Miss Jennifer, so we can hang out, because I'm going to come and visit you. because we have so much fun when we're at HSN, and seeing that we don't live across the world, it would only take me a couple hours to get to your house. We are totally going to hang out. So if you haven't already, friends, take your vellum out of the package, like the garbage, and we are going to cut this very easy. It's going to be cut into 4 pieces. So I am going to take this and I'm going to turn it, and I'm going to cut 2 6 by 12 inch vertical pieces. Okay, 2 6 by 12s. Okay. And then I am going to cut whatever you want to do. You're going to cut it into a 4 and an 8 inch piece. So if you want to cut whatever you want to cut, doesn't matter where you cut it from, just do the things. Okay, both of them. When I'm done, I should have 2 4 by 6s and 2 8 by 6s. So how my brain is doing this might not be how your brain computes. Do whatever works for you. Just when you're done, you should have 2 4 by 6s that don't have a barcode, so they're just going to get clipped. One of the 6 by 8s is going to get clipped. Isn't this pretty? Vellum is like my life. I love vellum paper. With that being said, be careful when you score vellum. It's not as thick as paper, like as the cardstock or the pattern paper, so you don't want to score through it. So we are going to score on the right hand side. I'm going to score a 1/4 inch flap because it's the tape I'm using, right? So I'm just going to take that and gently score a 1/4 inch flap. Here's the other thing. If it freaks you out, you're afraid of how you're going to adhere it, this is where washi tape could be your friend as well. Okay, so I just lightly went through without tearing it and scored that piece. And we are done the vellum, and we have 2 pieces of cardstock, and the magic with the cardstock is you don't have to worry about what pattern or the direction you're cutting it in. It's all good. So let's grab the yellow piece, which is beeswax. And if you aren't aware, basil, make sure you can see the barcode up so you can trim that off. And you don't trim it at where the art is. Measure 12 inches and then trim your barcode off, because it's a little trickster, and the art doesn't end, or the 12 inches doesn't end at the bottom of the lighter piece. It's actually a little bit bigger than that. So when you're done, you get a little bit of something going on there, okay? So 12 inches. And sometimes I have to look to make sure I do this right. We're going to cut a 5 by 12 and a 7 by 12 inch piece. So I will cut a 7 by 12. And this matters. There is method to the madness of how I'm cutting this paper, okay? So a 5 and a 7. So I measured 7 inches. It's my 7 by 12 and my 5 by 12. Let's do the easier one first. Let's take the 5 by 12, turn it, and do the same thing. Measure 7 inches. And that gives you a 7 inch piece and a 5 inch piece. And we'll clip it together. I am left now with my 7 by 12. I'm going to cut out of the 12 inch length of this paper. So put it in your trimmer, turn it so you're cutting out of the 12 inch length. And I'm going to give you the 3 measurements, okay? We're going to cut a 5 inch piece, and then a 4.5 inch piece, and that leaves us with a 2 inch strip. Okay, so out of the 7 by 12, we cut a 5 inch piece, a 4.5 inch piece, and that left us with a 2.5 inch piece. Put the 2.5 in your cut pile, because it's going to be a piece that goes inside a pocket. Stack them together and grab the bigger piece, which is your 5 inch piece, and then you don't have to get your ruler out, okay? So the 5 inch piece, we're going to now cut at the 7 inch length. Just follow what you're looking at it differently because it's a long strip. I just cut it differently. Don't forget, I'm not reading the written. I'm looking at my picture. You're going to get the same thing, Janet, but I'm cutting it differently. In my instructions, I may have said cut a vertical piece. Okay, I don't want to confuse anybody, but the math will work out. I just cut it in a different order, all right? So everyone should have this piece here, which is a 5x7, okay? We are going to cut out of the 7-inch length in half. So it's going to be a 3.5-inch piece. So now I have two 3.5x5s. Does that make sense? And totally, remember how we were saying that none of us look at a square the same way? So when I'm looking at this, you could cut it a number of ways, but just let's not confuse anybody. We're almost done, right? All we have left now is a 4.5x7. We're going to do the same thing and cut it into two 3.5-inch pieces. Okay? So Janet, have you been using the instructions or using the cutting diagram? Because this is where we know we have different brain types, because I write the instructions for everyone doing the class, but I cannot do a class using instructions. I have to draw it all out because words don't compute in my learning style. Isn't that funny? I have to see it like this for it to make sense. So that's why every time I teach a class, I draw everything down. The last cut was out of your 4.5x7. You're going to cut out of the 7-inch length. You're going to cut two 3.5-inch pieces. So cut it in half, and then you'll end up with two 3.5x4.5. You need the words, yeah, and I couldn't. And that's why I make sure I provide you with both. But if there's going to be mistakes, it's always going to be in the written instructions, because again, it's not how my brain does it. So you always reference the cutting diagram. It's why I give you both. And in my instructions, I say, read twice, cut once. Right? So all we have, let's grab that black, and then we're going to do one more cut out of this. That's why you're the artist. Probably. I can't. It's just my brain doesn't compute. I have to have it in a drawing. Here we go. Take your black piece. It's so good. It's almost celebration time. And cut your barcode off. So I'm measuring my 12 inches. And this is an easy one. Okay, friends? I'm going to leave it in the trimmer just the way it is. And we're going to cut 3 strips out of it. So let's start with a 5x12. And then a 3x12. And that leaves us with a 4x12. Grab that 4x12, turn it, and cut 2 6-inch mats. So they're going to be 4x6s. Okay? So out of the 4x12, you get 2 4x6s. Clip it. Out of the 3x12, turn it and cut a 6-inch piece. And then 2 3-inch pieces. We're so close to your potty break. And I celebrate, I mean a bathroom break. I love it. It's awesome. Okay. So now we only have this 5x12 left. And I'm going to cut a 4.5. A 2.5. And that leaves me with a 5x5. Take your 5x5 and your 4.5 and put them in your cut pile. And you still have this 2-inch strip, 2.5-inch strip. We're going to take it and cut out of the 5-inch length 2 2.5-inch squares. So cut it in half and put it in your cut pile. One thing to do before you guys leave me to go to the potty is open your album. In your album, you have what I refer to as binder pages, and that's the pages with the art on it. And then you have pocket pages, which are the clear ones. And you also in here have these chipboard pages, which I'm not using this time around. So it's bonus. You can make a mini album out of it, or you could cut some other stuff out using your steel ruled dies, whatever you want to do, but I'm not using these, okay? I got lost. Can you repeat the second half of the black? So we cut a 5-inch strip, a 3-inch strip, and a 4-inch strip. Out of the 4-inch strip, you cut 2 6-inch mats, so that gave you 2 4x6s. Out of the 3x12, you cut a 6-inch piece and 2 3x3-inch pieces. And then out of the last strip is a 5x12. Cut a 4.5-inch piece, a 2.5-inch piece, and a 5-inch piece. Put the 4.5 and the 5x5 in your cut pile, and you're left with that 2.5 by 5-inch strip. Cut it in half. So cut 2 2.5-inch pieces out of it and put them in your cut pile. What's the issue, Rebecca? It's right here, right? The math all works. We had a 5x7, 4.5x7, and a 2.5x7. We cut the 4.5 in half, which the math works. That's two 3.5 by 4.5-inch pieces. And then we cut the 5-inch piece in half as well. So maybe you're just not looking at the diagram correctly. There's the 5x5 is at the top of that strip, which we cut first, the 5x12. Don't overthink it. They're mats. It doesn't matter. Okay? It doesn't matter. It's a mat. Cardstock never matters. And like I said, I feel fairly confident, Rebecca, who has been my friend for many years, that you have lots of cardstock in your stash. So don't even worry about it. Okay? Out of your binder pages, please grab the diagonal stripe and the large polka dot. Yeah, you're good. It's all good. And by this part, like this is when everybody's brain hurts, and that's why we're going to take a quick break, have some of the candy sitting on your table, a cookie, a shot of tequila, a coffee, whatever you need, and then we've done the hardest part is done now. And you, Florence, it does not matter what mistakes you made. Don't even worry about it. When we get to the page, you're going to see it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We can do anything with whatever we have, okay? So no stress. Just kind of, Vicki, calling you a paper hoarder in a polite way. Not even. I'll come right out and say it. I don't even have to be polite. I can call the kettle black when the kettle's black, right? I'm a paper hoarder too. I hoard all of the stuff. Having a little drink because I haven't done that. We have 2 pages to cut. We'll take a quick break and then we'll get back to assembly. Okay? Not worried at all. Yeah, I think you guys, that wasn't that bad, right? Anybody who thought this was going to be a nightmare, how did you do? And be honest if you did stress, and then be honest with me why you thought you stressed. It's really hard to give the control up sometimes. So if you think too hard about the cuts, it gets really hard. If you just do what I'm saying and don't think about it, it's way more smooth sailing. Okay? And if this is your first time, it'll be much easier if you take a class with me again. Okay, so let's grab the polka dot piece, and it's super easy. You're just going to cut off of the side without the holes a 3-inch piece. Okay? So off the side without the holes, measure 3 inches and cut that piece. Put that in your cut pile for now. And this piece, score a 1/4 inch at the top. It's going to be a flap. I don't care what side because it's the same on both sides. Okay, 1/4 inch. And I'll clip them together so I don't lose my things. Well, it's what I'm paid for, right, Britta? Do I say Brita or Britta? I'm not sure. And I'm sorry if I totally just ruined your name. It's what I'm paid for is to do the thinking. So I really want to make it. And yeah, you have some extras. So now take the diagonal stripe and cut a 4-inch piece off of the side without the holes. Okay. This goes in the cut pile. We'll start to clip it. And this piece is going to be a side flap. So you are going to score a 1/4 inch off of one side. Again, it doesn't even matter because the art is all the same. So go ahead and score a 1/4 inch on that one. Clip it together. And now, my friends, go and take a break. But it is right now 5 o'clock, right? What time is this done? 6:30? So we should be good. I gotta find that's the thing that I printed. We have until 6:30. So I only want you to take a quick break. So let's 10 minutes, okay? Unless you need longer, but I'm going to get started again in 10 minutes. So go and stretch. I'm going to get up and I'm going to stretch my shoulders and walk around. I haven't had anything to drink, so I don't need a potty break, but whatever you need, right? It is 4:59, so we're going to get started in 10 minutes. So at 5:10, okay? And I'm going to be sitting here, so if anybody is hanging out with me, I'm not going anywhere. I don't need a break. I'm good. This is nothing. A class of this length is literally nothing for me. Normally, it takes us like hours to cut the paper because the album is double the size. So this is like, woo, that was nothing. Yeah, it is. I'm a wacko. So I love it. Please say that one more time, the polka dot. Sure, I will. So look on your diagram. Cut a 3-inch piece out of the side without the holes. And then score a 1/4 inch at the top of it. For the diagonal stripe, you cut a 4-inch piece out of the side without the holes. And then score down the right or left hand side, whatever, it doesn't matter because the art is the same. Supper time here with the fam. I'll come back after supper. And you know, Isabel, it's just literally putting it in order, right? So it's my birthday tomorrow, but Devin works. So guess what I'm having tonight? Barbecue. I ordered it all, and we are having brisket and ribs, and I will take this white top off. I'll put another top on, but I'm going to have to take my top off because it could be very scary with the barbecue. And I'm going to plug my laptop in because I just noticed that it's not plugging it in. Yay! Oh, now see, you guys are all Amy! Hi, friend! Yes, please, everyone come and say hi to me on this break because I just think it's, if we were in person, I would get to say hi to you guys. And I miss so many of you that we normally get to see each other a couple times a year. And I haven't left my house in a year and a half. And it makes me super sad because I am a little bit on the social side. And this has been really, really tough, right? You're doing great, Vicki. Thank you, Megan. Hi from Seattle. Hi, Cindy. How are you? Big dot page. Yes, the big dots. Hi, Rose Smith. How are you? I'm so organized. Well, you know, it's not my first rodeo. Like, I don't even know how many of these album classes I've made. And like I told you, if it's like, you know, when they say if you were on a desert island and you could only pick one food to eat or whatever, what would it be? If I was on a crafting desert island and there was only one thing I would pick, it would be mini albums. Because mini albums, I can do mixed media. I can make them from scratch. I can put photos in it. I don't have to put photos in it. Like, a lot of people poo-poo the mini album and only like to do 12 by 12. And I say, why would you restrict yourself from that creative ability? I love that it is a start to finish type of project. Whereas mini books could be years that it takes to add to that, right? Hi, Val. Oh my gosh, I miss you guys so, so much. I miss you guys. Tammy. Tammy is the one I crawled in bed with. She was on the cruise with us and she went to bed early. And that's what happens, just like in summer camp. We came back and woke her up after our night of dancing and I jumped in bed with her. First time taking one of your classes, but am really enjoying it. Thank you so much, Sarah. I love it. Have I missed anything? Yay, I'm so glad that your box has arrived. You know, like some of my friends that are on here, I'm going to be doing on my birthday, just so you know. I'll be sending my love, is packing up the last 50. And there will be missing a few things, but you know I will have your back. So I picked people that hopefully won't hate me because American Craft short shipped me and then sold out of everything. Oh, what a nightmare this week was, but I'm still smiling and I come back for more. Diane, question. I cut the last diagonal paper incorrect. Can I use a smaller dot or wider strip instead? No. Just leave it. You're fine. What did you do incorrectly? Watch when we get there. It's not going to matter. Okay? I adore you too, Becky. How are you doing, my friend? I love you. You know I love you hard. I love you hard, and I wish I could hug you for so many reasons in person. Hello, Evelyn. How are you doing, my friend? Whoop, whoop. We'll be doing mine when I get back to New Brunswick. Yes, I did. Every single one of you, when I mail out your boxes, that I send you love. Hello, Sherry and BJ. I love it. I've known who you are forever, but I never got your style. Sorry. Then I started watching your videos and lives. Big mistake. Now I'm hooked. But I love that. So were you afraid of the mixed media side of things? And what is your name, Scrappy Miss? I love that. You're not going to offend me. You know what I mean? Well, that doesn't offend me. I'm sure people could say something that would offend me, but that doesn't. Because you know what? We all have, right, our favorites and what we like to do. But I have to say, because this is a clean, we're doing no mixed media because it's really hard to do when the mixed media, it's hard to do when I can't be in person and we can't share supplies. It can be super pricey for you guys to have to buy all of the things. But a lot of you out there have taken mixed media classes because you're at a crop and create and you did it only because your friend was doing it because you're like, I don't like it. I'm not going to like it. You're not going to change my mind. And I'd have to say 99% of the time, I change your mind. There are some that are the 1% that just, it's not their thing. Mary, if she's out there, she's one of my 1%ers. She doesn't like the messy stuff. But I do a lot of it where it can be contained funk. Where it's mess, your hands clean up because, not with distress ink, your hands are not going to be clean right away, but art crayons, yes, that we can do the things, right? So is that I kind of thought your stuff was just messy. Now I get it. And here, while we're waiting, can I show you something? Scrappy Miss. I have to say that, you know, what is sad is never put limitations on your creativity. Let me grab one of my layouts. I'm hoping I can find one easily. Let me just grab some stuff. Some of the mixed media stuff, right, is more, I have to tape this better, but it just fell apart, is more, right, a lot of mixed media going on. Although, for me, this just makes my heart sing because I love the process. It is so good mentally for me to do the art. I love it, especially in COVID times. It is saving grace. This is using a cut file and we inked around it. But then sometimes we make it contained funk, right? The mixed media is there, but it's contained. It's not all messy. And then sometimes we make it and then cut it apart and do really awesome things with it. These are older classes, right? Where we did a little bit of mixed media in there. Do whatever makes you happy. The mixed media makes me happy. And teaching it makes me joyful. I have to say that I really think that I would change your mind if you do it with me. I would change your mind. You need to do the things. And now that I've been doing lives for years and I hold your hand and show you the things and you can sit in the comfort of your own home and decide if it's something you want to try or not, I just think I would just do the things like this. And you'll see, I have ladies who just find me randomly on YouTube or Instagram and pardon me, maybe on Instagram, but on Facebook. We did this class, and I have to glue it better. It's all kind of falling apart. We drew all of this in a scribble technique, and there were tons of people who went, I can't draw, I'm not going to do it, this isn't for me, and ended up making this. And I know because it's the thing that they post the most, right? Don't put limitations on your creativity. I have to say that I love the mixed media. I love breaking you guys in where you think you can't do it. You actually decide to give it a try, and you're like, oh my goodness, I did the things. This was just with Sharpie, and was literally, let's just scribble on a piece of paper, and we made the things. This is where I'm saying that we make the mixed media, and then I cut it out with a cut file. So it's all contained and layered and so much fun, right? This was a class that you guys loved, and we have to do again, where we put soap in a cup with acrylic paint, and we blew bubbles and made an absolute disaster, but that magic happened, and this magic happened. This summer, I'm going to be teaching a class of gel plate printing, and I did it in Puerto Rico, and a lot of them did it with me and thought they wouldn't like it. And I actually danced with Mary Rose and Anelsi in that class, right? But why would you say, hey, I'm not going to try this, right? Why would you? I don't know. But I'm different like that, because I always look at it, it's a piece of paper and my time. If it doesn't turn out, so what? But I love it, right? Love it. I love it. I love making the art. And look at, remember that one I showed you? And this was the positive. And then we sewed all over it. I don't know. I just love it. You got a gel plate. Teach me. We're going to do a month-long course this summer, Jennifer, because I don't want to do anything super labor-intensive that requires a big kit in summer. I need a break, and I want to lay by the pool. And we're going to gel plate for 4 weeks. And it's going to be awesome. Hi, honey.
Love you.
I love you too, Rye.
Bye.
That's my son. He's 20, and he just came and told me he loved me. And that is awesome, isn't it? Where can I see your classes? Just make sure that you join me on Vicki Booten Creative Community on Facebook. Follow me on YouTube. Go on vickybooten.com. I'm going to start using that blog page, because I've been really stupid that I don't post on that, because then I feel like it's a great place for you guys to find info. I do a free class every single Friday on Friday Night Lives. It's a free class. It really is. I'm teaching you all the things on Friday nights. It's really fun. So we have so much fun. I love Crop and Create. I've been doing these, Catherine wasn't lying, I think almost 50 of them. I do mini albums, I do layouts, we do mixed media. I make you try the things, because I'm just that friend. If we're out and I'm having calamari and you haven't tried it, I'm going to make you try it, unless you're allergic, is the only time I'd let you get away with not eating it. I will make you do the mixed media. Because I think, why would you deny yourself that chance to try something new, right? But we have fun, right? I love the Friday nights. It's so much fun. 51 of 50. I've done more than 50. Oh my goodness. And I love it. Catherine gives us this opportunity to do these Crop and Creates. I have made the best friends in the teaching team, in the behind the scenes, with her family, who I absolutely adore, the whole Tashjian family. The opportunities to, I'm going to cry, so I got to watch. The community that is a part of this, the friendships within this teaching group, and the new people she brings in, that I have found my happy place. And now we couldn't do it live, but freaking we're doing it here. Catherine, that's where I was supposed to be tomorrow, is the Cactus Club for my 50th birthday. We were going to have calamari and lettuce wraps, and I was going to have 12. You ready for it? I was going to drink 12 of them, because I love those sangrias, and I don't care. They could have carried me out of there, right? Take us to church. 100%. I am telling you, if you are new and you're new to paper crafting, you have found the best place you could ever be. And I don't care if you don't like my style and you love what Megan does, or Jess does, or Virginia does. I don't care. As long as you're here with us, you do not have to love what I do. If you tried it, then I am happy. And if it's your cup of tea, that is awesome. And if it's not, and you like to sip somebody else's tea, we still can totally be friends. We still can hang out at the crop and have a dance party in the hallway or sing karaoke. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I'm telling you, there's the best thing ever. So that was my TED Talk. And now we're going to, because we're 2 minutes in and we got work to do, friends. We are now going to, here is your keys to success, because we're going to start assembling. We're not going to assemble in the album. We're going to take and flip, take and flip. We're not going to glue very much either, because I would rather get everything in order so it's where it needs to be, and all these pieces will be organized, and you will go, Vicki, I will finish this class. I love it. That's what my goal is, right? And I miss things, right? I wasn't looking at your comments because you'll make me cry. Just enough time to have supper and grab a cup of tea. And now you're back for a cup of tea, a cup of Vicki, right? I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I'll read the comments later, but like I said, I can't talk about or read too much of it. I am emotional because everything I do with you guys totally is authentic. It comes from the heart. I love this. I love people trying the new things and discovering their inner artist or their inner paper crafter or their inner mini book maker. I love it, love it, love it. Right? Vicki for dessert. I love it. I am the sugar. I'm your sugar tonight. Okay. So what you want to do now is start organizing your bits. So right, I like to run them down both sides of me so I can find things. And you'll know, and B, who's out there, and remember, she is my YMCA dancing machine, has done a lot of these classes. There's a lot of them out there who've done a lot of the mini book classes. Your key to success is being organized. So take a minute, and what I'm going to do it with you, and I'm going to start to just lay my bits out along the sides so I can find what I need easily. Okay? So just kind of lay them out. Because remember, you got this. You got this. Start laying your bits out. But yes, because she's here and she knows that I love to say this, thank you again, Catherine, for letting me be a part of this and letting me enjoy the community that we have and sharing what I'm passionate about, that you give me the opportunity to do this. I love it. You know, I'm thankful and grateful for Crop and Crate and SCT Magazine and for every single one of you out there doing this with me and trusting me to guide you creatively for a couple of hours. So I love it. All right, we ready? What do you need? Grab your adhesive, because we'll probably glue some things together because I want you to just see how the flaps and everything works. But for the most part, we're not going to glue a lot because I would really rather we get all the pieces in order. And we have an hour and 15 minutes, so let's do the things, all right? So I have my double-sided tape. Oh, I have no adhesive, so I won't be gluing anything. I meant to go and grab a new ATG or one of those things that I have all over my house, and I didn't. So let's just do the things. We're good. I think this is all I need anyway. All right, so grab your adhesive, your scissors, have your punches handy, your corner rounder. Let's do the things. Okay, I'm throwing all my crap on the floor that I went and grabbed. The cover's the last thing. It's pretty straightforward. All the pieces you have left at the end are pretty much going to be on the cover. Because it's vellum, and I don't believe in vellum adhesive, you still can see it. Mine is not glued anywhere other than I put one out of the Heidi Swap ephemera pack. You're going to be able to find this little corner rounder. So I taped double-sided adhesive there. I taped underneath the border. I glued or added adhesive underneath everywhere that it's covered. Okay, and then my borders. This would look beautiful with ribbon or with some twine. It's hard for us to find that stuff, so if you have some around, add and junk it up and add whatever jewelry you want. But you will find in the instructions, I tell you exactly where to find which ephemera pack it's in. I use lots of pop dots. Do whatever makes you happy. Put whatever title you want. That's why you have a whole set of alphabet thickers that you can add whatever title you want. I like to just put really kind of random things on there. Inside cover, again, is explained in the instructions. Not going to do it. We're going to start like this. And I'm going to say, because it makes it so much easier, I grab a page, and then we grab the pieces we need. Are you ready? Let's go. I am not opening the ephemera packs. You can do that if you would like to, but I find I lose pieces. So it's all explained in your instructions. Hi, Angie. How are you? Let's go. Okay. And R. McGregor, is that Mary? Is that Mary McGregor? Are you on somebody else's? I don't know. Okay. So let's find the paper that you guys all loved, the floral. And guess what? It's only one piece in there can be this page. So that's the page that you need. I have my ruler because I know some of you Virginia types will need the measurement. 4 1/4 by 7 3/4 is the base for this page. Let's find the pink polka dot mats. And it's going to be one of your 3x4s. We're going to take it, and this is exactly how I do. That's why you need lots of paper clips, and I'm going to clip it like this. That's all I'm doing right now. You can glue later. If I try to get you to glue quickly, you're going to mess stuff up. So the other thing to keep in mind is we're making pages in this album. When you go to glue things down, always keep in mind your binding holes have to go somewhere. So make sure you leave about a 1/2 inch on the side when you tape down so you're not punching through your mats or your ephemera. You can go into the cut aparts that had the tags and go ahead and grab that blue tag. Some of them are going to be cut aparts and some of them could come out of the ephemera pack, right? So if we don't find it in here, it's from your ephemera. So I'm going to grab that. That was my cut aparts from the Happy Day. And I'm going to clip that on there. And then I'm going to flip my page. I did sexy math. Are you very impressed with my sexy math, Virginia? I can be sexy like Virginia. Okay, friends? So that's all we're gathering right now. And now we're going to flip it. And I'll tell you why we do it like this. We could sit and start building pages and putting the ephemera on, and I'll tell you, we will get 5 pages done in the time we have left, and then your whole album isn't finished. There's a method to the madness, just trust me, okay? Just do the things. It makes it so much easier. Grab your black cardstock. It's going to be the 2 squares, and I'll give you the math. I think they're about 3 1/2, weren't they? Am I right? Am I wrong? I don't remember. They're 3 by 3 squares. And then I'm going to clip that, and we'll keep moving. When you go to do this, I popped the fox up with foam squares. I layered a whole bunch of bits. That's the tag with the pretty hearts is off the edge. And then it is awesome because it's like 2 for 1 tag. Okay, so that is the front and the back. You will be able to come back and reference this to see exactly what was here when you go to build it, because this is all going to be recorded. And you have photos in your instruction sheet. So when I'm done, I just put it aside like this, and I'm going to put each thing like a book. And when I'm done, I can flip it back, and it's all in order. The next page that we're going to need is that one we created with the side flap. So it opens like this. So we need to find the paper, and this is why being organized is helpful, because you can find things fast. Okay? Should we cut the tickets and add? No, you shouldn't, Lisa, or we'll never get the page together. But you can do it later, right? Don't cut anything or do it. You'll fall way behind. So obviously, I'm only making suggestions. You do what makes you happy. But I'm going to say no ephemera added, nothing right now. We're just going to, I want all these pieces when we're done to have nothing left. So just totally just go with it. And you can decide if this works for you later, but you will see there is a method to the madness. I just want to really burn through all of our cut pieces, okay? So now I'm going to take this stack, the B stack, and find the mat that goes on the side flap, okay? It's only one piece that will fit, but it is the 4 by 4.5. And I'm just going to clip it. And I like to clip at the top because then I can clip front and back and I don't have to waste paper clips. So remember, friends, later you can decide what you want to punch that circle from. I punched it from this card. Remember the cards we cut apart? And I opted to go, because it was my least favorite, I punched my circles out of that card. So when you get to that, we're not going to do it now because I feel like that's something you can do later. This is Heidi Swap ephemera. That's an ephemera piece. This says look fun, look at fun, whatever you want to put on there. But I just cut that out, added it. This is going to be out of your ephemera. I popped it up. I like to do these as little tabs to open my page. Okay? It's a 1.5 inch circle when you're ready to punch that out. I leave, when I add my ephemera, open at the top so I can slide a photo in after and then glue it down. Okay? Now we turn the page like a book. So remember I told you I was a total liar and I used the other side of the paper? Don't worry about it. It's fine. When you put a photo on it, you're not going to see it. We're not adding anything right now to this page. When you get to it, it's going to be the ephemera and the ephemera from the Heidi Swap. Okay, and then what's nice is you can just tack it and put a photo underneath it. So that is it. This is going to go in my stack, and I'll put my page back in the album. Remember, friends, when you're doing this, be aware what's on the front and back when you go to punch your holes. So you're not building upside down, and then you end up putting all your artwork on upside down. Okay, so just kind of do like that. Just be aware that your pages are going in the order that they need to. The other thing that you needed, that I forgot to mention, is the binder and the pocket pages out of your album. So grab, I refer to these, so whenever you're reading the instructions, the pages with the art are called binder pages because they came out of the binder. And then we have the clear pocket pages. So just take them out of the book, and as we are building, you can fill. Okay. So I'm going to go in my stack of binder pages, and the next page we're going to use is the lined one. Okay, so it is the page that looks just like lined paper. So we're going to start with the back of it because it's the order the book goes in. So just grab your lined paper that does not have numbers on it. It's just lined. Like that. You need this page. And then you need your black mat that is a 5 by 5. I'm just impressed that I remembered that. But I think it's because we just cut it, right? So I think you have 2 5 by 5s in the black, possibly. So just put that square on there. Okay. The piece up here later is going to be your barcode. The barcode strip from that really pretty black floral, but get it later. And then this is thickers. It says, yes, you can do it. And then one of the Heidi Swap ephemeras, I put lots of foam squares under it. And then I just put the border strip under because I like that it grounds my title and it's not floating around. But there's lots of foam squares in here. So go ahead now and clip this. And then we're getting to something interactive. So clip it on here. It's ready to go. Remember to flip it like a book. So now my binding holes are on the right-hand side. So when we go to do our first interactive bit, you're not building it upside down, okay? So I need you to grab the B paper that has a scored side. This was the binder page we cut apart. So grab those. Oh, was I cracking? I'm a crack smoker, look at. We did not punch circles out of that. So if you did already, I apologize. You might be very mad at me. You're like, I trusted her and now I don't anymore because I lied. Because sometimes when I'm writing the instructions, I might be writing it from the opposite side of the paper. But look at that piece I keep telling you I'm punched out of, I didn't. That's why I said don't punch it till the end, because Vicki lies all the time. And then grab your binder page with a scored bit. Am I wrong? I think that's true, right? Vicki, your mat's meant to show. Trying to make a list of picture sizes needed. Don't worry about it now, Lainey. When you go through, like, don't make work for yourself right now. Go through, because you might switch some of these mats out to a 4x6. And just, I wouldn't even, but my mats always show. I love borders on everything, so yeah. But I would do that at the end, right? Unless it's slow enough that you can keep up, then do whatever works for you. So let's start with these two pieces. How my flaps work, because I like them to be clean, these aren't going to be glued to the back of the page. They're going to be glued to the front edge of the page. So I'm going to take the diagonal stripe and I am going to put some double-sided adhesive on the front and back of this strip, okay? So let's start with, grab your double-sided, because I'm going to show you how to do a flap. Oh, there's two different florals, Anita, so I wasn't a liar. Oh, good. I'm like, I'm worried. Why did I write it down like that? So what we're going to do is I'm going to glue this flap to the front of the B flap, the Virginia paper. Okay, so take your double-sided tape, and this is one of the reasons I like the Suquang, is that I can just tear it. I don't have to cut it. Okay, so I put my adhesive on the flap. I'm going to take that adhesive off and I'm going to glue it to the front of the 1/4 inch flap on the B paper. So go ahead and burnish it if you need to, so that your backing doesn't come off. And then go ahead and glue your 1/4 inch flaps together. And this is why I say we don't do a lot of this, because if you're like me, it all has to be perfect and it takes me for freaking ever, right? Right? So the two flaps are glued together. Now I'm going to take the flap. Oh, look it. See what I did? So keep in mind, the front flap is bigger than the back flap, so just center that on the back. I didn't, but it's fine. Catherine will still love it anyway. So I'm going to take this now, right? And I'm going to fold the flap. So now what I'm noticing, your adhesive, you might have to peel off, because I didn't realize those two papers weren't the same size. So in a perfect world, you could have put your adhesive on the front of the B paper and then glued them together, just because then always glue the smaller piece. But now we're going to take our flap, fold it behind, and you're going to put your adhesive on this long flap. Okay? So again, this is why I use the 1/8 inch, is because I don't have glue sticking out where I don't want glue. What size is the B paper? It is the one that has the scored flap, and it is a 5 1/4 by 8. Okay? So now you take that page, we have folded the flap behind, you're going to glue the flap right to the edge of the paper so you don't have any ugly flaps. They're all hidden underneath. Okay? So take your tape off. And then adhere on the side that does not have holes your layered flap. So now I have a layered flap with all nice clean edges because they're all here. All right. And now Anita tells me I wasn't a liar. Where is this bigger piece, Anita? Was it in that stack? I don't know what I was doing. Is that where I got it from? No, there's a bigger one, isn't there? Was it in the mats? I have to find it. Why is my paper shorter than the strip? Because remember I said it is shorter. I just forgot to tape it in the middle, but the B paper is shorter than the binder page. Both are on the tag page. Thank you. Let's look on my tag page and see. Oh, good. Good to know that I was not lying to you. I was concerned that I lied to you guys. It is the bigger piece. So grab the bigger piece. This is the piece we punch circles out of. Okay, good. Yay. Because I was like, why did I not make a better note for myself? And I'll tell you what the measurement is. Rebecca has typed it on there. So if you're reading your comments, you can see it. But it is the 3 by 3.5 inch piece. Okay? The 3 by 3.5 inch piece is the piece that's going to be the flap. So you're going to take this, you're going to round the bottom corners. This is how it went in my book. I'm going to round the bottom corners. If I can, there it is. The corner rounder. And what are we going to do? We're going to score a 1/4 inch, and it's going to be glued to the top of that. And like always, there's method to the madness. Why do you think mine went that way? So when it flips up, the hearts aren't upside down. Oh, I love when I have smart moments, because sometimes I don't feel super smart. Sweet. So fold it under, put your adhesive on the flower side of the flap, and glue it to the top, and that will give you your triple flap. Top flap, 2 side flaps, okay? Adhesive goes on the flowered side of the flap, and then gets glued to the top of the front flap. Kind of centered on there. It's not perfect, it doesn't matter. Okay. So now we have a top flap with the hearts that flap up the proper way, and 2 side flaps. Okay. When you go to build this, you'll layer your ephemera, a little X and O tag, because remember I like things that help me open. And then this is a Heidi Swap ephemera that is popped up on your page. The mate to this page is another binder page. So the next one is another binder page. And it is the grid. So grab the grid. It's fine, Rebecca, if your flap is the smaller one, it doesn't matter, right? It still works. So this is the second page, and it is kind of the mate. It's going to be the mate, but a side pocket. So remember the piece that you have left? Again, method to the madness. I love that I don't have to punch binding holes. They're going to line up with the binding holes for a side pocket. So what does that mean? That my adhesive should only go on the side with the holes, and the top and bottom. No adhesive on the side with no holes. Okay? So I am going to put adhesive at the top. The side with holes. and the bottom. And for some of these friends, I'm going to get you to put the tape on, but we will not tape it down for time's sake. And what's awesome then is that when you look at it, you're like, oh, okay, I know where my adhesive goes, and I can just take the backing off. So you will take that, and then you will glue it to the side for a side pocket. So I'm just going to clip it for now for time's sake. And what do you need here? Remember the little pink piece that we rounded the corners with the bird paper? You need that little pink piece with the rounded corners. It's going to go here. The size of that one is a 5 by 1 inch. And I'll just clip it for now. And then you need the B piece that we kept the UPC strip on. And then that will end up going in the side pocket. Remember, anytime you do punch holes, if it's a pocket and you have a piece inside, make sure you take it out before you punch your holes. So grab that B piece, which is a 7.5 by 4.5 with the strip on it, and we'll just clip it for now. Okay, if you want to grab your tag, you can do that. I think it's a tag. No, it's not. This is ephemera. That's an ephemera piece. It's not in your cut apart tags. I popped that up, so it is 3D there with no adhesive behind it. Okay, for your side pocket. So now I'm going to take my page and I'm going to flip it so we can build the back of it. And the back side is, grab 3 of the little mats with the hearts on them. And sometimes that's hard. It probably says in the instruction sheet which ones they should be. Right? Oh, we know already. Partially. Because we are going to punch circles out of this one. So this is for your circles. So set that aside. I am pretty sure I used this somewhere because I love it. So I'm saying, is this what it says in the instructions? The house, the frame, and the rabbit are your mats. I'm pretty sure it's what I did. Right? Burp, burp. And burp. Because this is pretty. I would have kept that because it would make my heart happy. So I'm going to say keep the number 4. Bunny, house, and yellow flowers. Let's see. Was I right? Bunny, yellow flowers, and house. Yay. Okay, so clip those. And this comes out of your ephemera pack later. I popped up just the corners. So clip this on here for now, and it's not committed, so if you want to change it later, you can, and use whatever you want. It's fine, it's just clipped for now. Put that in your cut pile, or in your album pile. And let's go to the next page. We got to keep trucking here, okay, friends? That's why we're not going to glue. We're going to keep working because we don't have a lot of time left. So grab a full pocket page. Full pocket page. Let's grab the page with the clouds. That is not scored and rounded. It's just a full page. Okay? It's going to go in your pocket. And then we need the piece with the 3/4 inch score on it. So out of your growing, happy growing, it is the 7, I think it's 7 by 5 with the 3/4 inch scored flap. Take this flap and put a piece of adhesive at the top of the flap. We're not going to glue it down, but this will remind you what you need. Put your adhesive right at the top of the flap. And just leave the backing on, okay? When this gets folded and added, do you see when you look at your pocket page, There is this about a 1/2 inch at the top. That's why your flap needs to be longer. So when you go in and adhere this inside to your cloud paper with the flap on the outside, there is an overhang. Okay, so it will get glued, but to clear the pocket and flap on the front hand side, your adhesive needs to go at the top. It gets glued right to the top of the blue piece. Blue piece, the cloud piece goes inside and your flap goes on the outside. So for time's sake, just clip it inside the pocket and clip it to the page. Okay? You can come back and reference, and you know, flap is on the outside, only gets adhered to the top of the page. Everything else on here is in your ephemera, okay? But it is a top flap, only adhered to the top of the page. Flip this page. The only thing you need to grab is the happy day birthday cake kind of thing. Or you can have cake any day. Right? That guy out of your stack of cut aparts. And just clip it for now and put it in your stack. It is adhered with foam squares on the outside of the page with part of the overhang, because I like to put my ephemera and bits on the outside of my pocket pages. I just think it adds a little interest. The next thing you're going to grab is a pocket page with a 4x6 and 2 3x4 openings. Okay. And you are going to add one of the blue cloud pieces with the rainbow to the bottom pocket. So your clouds and your rainbow, just grab whichever one. 4x6. Make sure your rainbows are the right side up. And it goes in the bottom pocket. Top pocket is the kind of mixed media looking ones. This paper is Mirage. Grab whichever mat you want to use. Doesn't really matter. And throw one in the upper right hand pocket. And then the cut aparts that were all the little mats or the little pieces, you need your 1, 2, 3 3x4 with title, and it goes in the top left pocket. Some of them, sometimes you have to trim too. They're a little bit wide. But for now, let's just shove it in there. Okay, that's it for that. Party time is out of your ephemera. I foam squared it on the outside of the pocket. Okay, let's flip it. Nothing is added right now. Later, you can add. This is out of your Heidi Swap ephemera. It's on the outside of the pocket. All of the ephemera is on the outside. I put weekend in the cactus, and then I can put a photo, and I can put some journaling there. So that's it for that one. It goes into our stack. And guess what? You're going to grab another of the 3 opening pocket pages. Okay? And you're going to add the other cloud 4x6. Cloud side up. Make sure your rainbows aren't upside down. Slide that in. And then these 2 pieces, I'm going to show you the other side, is the other mixed media, and then the yellow piece out of our tag cut apart. So I'm going to go in this stack and grab the yellow piece, right? It goes here. And then the mixed media piece goes on that side. How we doing out there, friends? Just keep trucking along. Okay. Precious Memories is ephemera, and it goes on the outside of the pocket. That's how it layers over the 2. And there is nothing added other than ephemera to the back side. That is a vellum piece with one of the photo corners out of the Heidi Swap. It's all on the outside of the pocket. The next page is one of your full pocket pages. Okay, full pocket page. Grab the last of your stack of that pretty Heidi Swap paper. Remember, I cut a different one. I'm just moving at the speed I'm finding the things, Yolanda. Sorry, is it Yolinda? Just because we have about 45 minutes left, and I would rather that this is recorded and you can come back and watch it than not finish it, okay? So if it's too fast for you, just pause and watch at your speed. But I would rather that you are able to have all of the information and references. So if it's too fast, it's okay. Just pause, find your piece, and press play again, okay? Yep. Joe Linda, thank you. Okay, so don't panic, just pause, find your pieces, and then at least all the information is here. Perfect, okay? So that's all you're gonna add. The piece on the outside is going to all be layered. It's the vellum, it's the flower, and one of the little labels. Okay? On the back side is, let's find this piece. I don't remember which one it's going to be, but you know, at the end, whatever piece is left is going to be this one, okay? I'm sure in your instructions it says which one it is, but you can also decide which one you think is prettiest that you want to use, and it's going to be one of these pieces, and then you can add it, okay? So I don't remember right now, so I'm not going to add it. And at the end, it'll be the last piece sitting there. Dreamy is actually attached inside the pocket just to make things difficult, right? Dreamy's inside and document is on the outside. But it's so that that could layer over top, okay? So I'll put that in my cut pile, or my album pile. It only says 4x6. So yeah, at the end, whatever's left. So remember these two pieces that are stuck together that are our folded flaps that open like this. So grab them, making sure your flaps are on the right hand side. And guess what? Just to make everything super easy, it's another one of the 4x6s that I just showed you. But I know we're using one of these in a pocket page. So I'm sure it's going to be this one. So I'm going to guess it's that one. I know this one's going to be in a pocket page because I love that. And what other one would I have used? I don't know. We'll see in a minute, okay? Or let me check quickly. Let me check quickly. Or maybe I'm a liar. Oh, no, here it is. Okay, these are the two pieces that we will need. This one, and this one are going in a pocket page. So this one and this one are your mats. All right? So use whatever you want, but these are your mats. So I'm going to slide one of them inside for right now in this pocket. And I'm going to clip this one to the front of my stack. Because you'll trim it down, obviously, right? But you can use whatever one you want, my friends. But for right now, let's just clip and keep moving. I put it on an angle. I foam squared the corners. And then it's Heidi Swap ephemera is laid on there. So now let's open it like this. Okay. Open. And open. Oops, I closed my book. Right? So what do you need? Your two yellow mats. So those ones are did 2 5 by 3.5 inch pieces, and they will end up going inside your pockets or your flaps. So for right now, just clip, and I'll clip that one. Okay. This is ephemera that just goes on the top to act as a flap to open your flap. This is ephemera that I layered with the vellum, and then I popped up Breathe. But both of them are just mats inside. You can put them wherever you want. Just make sure you remember you have to punch binding holes. So now I'll close that, and we need the piece on the back of our stack, which is from your pink. And it is the 4 by 4. Okay, the 4 by 4. We can round the corners if you like. I just round the top corners because it goes on the bottom edge. Okay. Put that in my cut pile. Whatever, grab whichever one you want, Rebecca. Remember, they're mats. I'm not too concerned if I used a different one, and we haven't glued anything, so use whatever you want. What do they say? The 4.5 by 3.5? You need 2? Oh, it's a smaller one. I understand what you're saying. Okay. So the yellow mats are 4.5 by 3.5. I lied. So just change those out because you probably will need this size somewhere else. So it's the 4.5 by 3.5. So just clip them in. They're there. I understand. I thought it was the pink mat. And I'm like, I don't think that one will matter. But those ones could. So thank you for that. Okay. When you go to put this, you will layer your ephemera and your vellum. And the ticket is in... could have been a cut apart because a lot of those too, I just notched the ends out if I did use one of the tickets. Oops. Oh, one should be cut into 2 mats. I probably decided that after. I understand what you're saying. So one of the mats you cut into 2 sizes after. Oh, for the yellow. Because sometimes I do that as I make it, and I might have missed it on my cut, but I don't even know where my cut diagram is right now. So it's fine. Nothing is glued down. We'll figure that out after. Let's just keep moving. And we don't have that much more to go, so we're good. And we'll figure it out. But Rebecca's saying that I cut one of the mats in half. We can decide at the end, okay? Because I can't wrap my brain around it right now, so we'll figure it out. Out of your binder pages, please grab the one with the tiny little dots on it. Okay, the tiny little dots. And then remember, we have the last piece of the cloud paper with the scored line, because this is going to be a top flap in your album. So it is one of those that you would take this, you'd fold it under and put your adhesive. I'm not going to glue it, but if I put the adhesive on right now, I'll know where it goes and how it attaches. So let's glue that on like that. The other thing to remember is this is a double top flap. So grab your piece that has the, out of the cut aparts where the tags were. No, out of the other ones. And you need your pink piece that we didn't score. You're going to score at the top of this one 1/4 inch, because it is going to be a flap that we attach to those, or that other flap, okay? So that flap will get folded behind. And when you take this adhesive off, you can just glue that one right there and then put another piece of adhesive on there. Let's just do it. So I'm going to take that backing off. Okay, decide where you want your flap on the front. I left it with about a 1/2 inch. And then glue it down. So now see, my flaps are attached. And then put another piece of adhesive on the pink. Take the backing off. And just remember that you don't want to cover your binding holes when you attach these. So my adhesive is on the folded flap. And you can use the dots, are awesome because it helps you line everything up. And just put it right beside the binding hole. Okay. And now you have layered flaps. And then I believe I cut these out of that one tag that has all the labels on it. And that label goes on there. I popped up the little bow, the vellum, and the birdie. Okay. The back side of this one is your waterfall flaps. So you're going to want to grab out of your tags. You want the XOXO. You want the long piece that we cut out of your binder pages with the scored bit, right? You might need to trim a little bit, okay, for it to work. Or if that doesn't bother you, just kind of leave it on there. And then our 2 pieces from the gingham Grove paper that have the scored bits. So these 2 pieces, they are the 3 by 5 and the 3 by 7. So when you go to stack them together, these are not folded behind. You're going to adhere. You have to score a 1/4 inch, and then you'll adhere it to the front of the toile, and then you will adhere it to the front of the gingham, just at that 1/4 inch flap, right? And then you adhere them to the front of the polka dot flap. So all of it is only adhered at the top so you can lift them. And then you adhere that polka dot to the front of your page, and then all of them will lift. You might need to trim a little bit off the polka dot because it is the exact same length as the binder page. So you may decide to take about a 1/4 inch off the bottom of those, okay? We won't glue it now, but remember, this isn't a class that you're not going to know what happened because you can come back and watch the video. So I'm just going to clip it for now because if you're like me, this is going to take a little bit of time to glue together because you want everything to be nice and straight. And then I put it about 3/4 of an inch off of the right side of the page. And then the circles that we cut out go underneath your numbers for your 1, 2, 3, 4 flap. And then I put love it, and then popped up the little foiled heart word bubble, and then added some of the hearts. And we'll put that into our pile and grab the next page. How's everybody doing? Like, I hope that I am moving through this, but don't forget, you can come back and watch it. Just grab the pieces and clip them for now. So grab one of your pocket pages with the 2 3x4s and the 4x6 opening. Mini albums are not, like, it's a labor intensive, right? It's a lot of stuff going on. But it's awesome in the end. You'll just grab your pieces and then you can glue down later. So grab your 3x4 openings, put the vellum piece in the bottom, one of the 4x6 vellums. So grab it. Do you notice your piles are getting smaller? It always feels good as the piles are getting smaller. So just grab one of the vellum pieces. It's going to go in the pocket. And then the mat that you need is going to be the 5x3.5. Good thing that you guys pointed that out, because you really needed the smaller size for this, right? The 5x3.5. And Jules, why are you just on page 1? Are you gluing everything down? That's fine. You do, right? You do whatever makes you happy. The other thing you're going to need now is your 2 3x4s with the birds. I have to watch because my tape is all crazy. Find the birds and put them in the top pocket. And this is why you need to keep your stuff all tidy. So those 2 3x4s that are the birds are right here, and they might be different, remember? It depends which one you cut apart, but it's all fine because you're going to put photos on it later. Just not keeping up. But it's okay, right? This is all recorded, so just go at your pace. Work on what you want to work on. It will all be here. So, but like I said, this is not, you would normally sit and finish a project like this in 3.5 hours. So do it at your pace. It's all good. Don't stress. This is a label that you'll find in the ephemera. It goes on the inside. The back side is, I told you, you knew I was going to use that guy. He's too cute not to. So just grab your little butterfly, round the top corners, and it is inside the pocket. And you will find this is why in this setting, just grab the pieces and stick them. Just stick them together, and then you can come back and adhere later. If you start adhering, you'll never keep up because I'm moving too fast, right? So that's done. I will put that in my album stack. And this is a rest the brain. Grab the pocket page with the 2 4x6s. Put a black 4x6 in the top, put the vellum piece on the bottom. So a black 4x6 in the top, the other vellum piece in the bottom, and I will use the yellow mat when we get on the other side, but it's the same size one. I just like, because it's vellum, right? That if you put the mat on, it's perfect for where you put your photos, that you won't see the back of the photo on it. So that was the thinking. I like the vellum. It looks super pretty in the pocket. And then the yellow mat will be where your photo can sit. Eggplant Parmesan. I love it. Okay. So flip it and grab the other yellow mat that was the same size, which again was the 5x3.5, and it just goes inside the pocket. Okay, and then just throw that in your album page or your album pile. And then our next page is out of your binder stack. So your binder pages, you need to grab the large horizontal stripe. And remember I said we were going to do pockets and not to punch your hole until, or your top of your pocket until you get here. These are all in the pocket. Okay. So go to that paper that has the floral on it. Grab, I'll tell you what the measurement is, but only 2 of these will fit. So it is the 6 3/4 by 5, which will be your bottom pocket, and the 2 by 6 3/4 will be the top pocket. So now I will take my 1.5 inch circle punch, and I'm going to notch out of the top of the pocket a half circle. This will get glued. Put adhesive on the sides and the bottom. So I'm not going to tape it down, but let's put our adhesive on it. If I can find it. Here it is. So by notching it, you won't put adhesive on the wrong part. So it's why I notch my pockets, right? So adhesive on the bottom and the sides. And then this one will get glued first, making sure that your binding holes are on the left. You'll take your backing off and you would glue this right to the bottom. And then you'll take this one and you'll put your adhesive on the sides and bottom. Leave the top edge with no adhesive or it's a mat, and it will get glued to the bottom to make your pockets. You will cover the binding holes and you will have to come in and punch a new hole. Okay, so I'm going to clip that for now. And then you need to find your mats. So the yellow mat that goes in the top pocket is the 5 by 7. So there's only one that will work, right? And I'll just clip it for now. And then these pieces are out of your ephemera pack, okay? So you won't find those until you open the ephemera pack, and they go in the bottom pocket. And then I just put the next stop label attached to the yellow, and inspired is popped up with 3D foam adhesive. Yay! So flip the page, because we have to build the back. And super easy, it's going to be a mat, which look at, we only have 2 pieces of yellow left. Our piles are getting so small. It will be the mat. And if you need to know, it is the 5 by 5. And then this piece is in your ephemera pack, and I popped it up. It says "You Shine," and part of it pops up. So you could put another little label sticker up there if you wanted to. And then a ticket. So just put that in your pile. You're doing great, friends, and the ones that are still sticking around, I'm very proud of you, because this is a long class, so I get it. Some of you have thrown in the towel, but it will be recorded and come back. If you are starving and you want to go eat, you do whatever makes you happy. I'm going to keep working until we have all the pieces where they need to go, so that you have something to reference when you are ready to finish it, right? Do you remember our beach page that was folded? Oh, our piles are getting so small. It makes me feel so accomplished, right? So go into this paper. I don't think we've used it yet, right? And grab the piece that has the, oops, I stuffed that inside. That's why it's not working, right? Make sure that the flap is to the right-hand side. And then when you finish this, I layered a pink ticket, a house, and the word love. And then when you flip it, it is going to be a black mat on the inside, which is a 4 by 6. So grab that. I love it. Look at all that real estate. You could journal on the inside. You could put some more photos, whatever you want to do. Put it there, clip it. Okay. And then this guy, remember you have that little piece of the yellow border we punched. Wherever it is in your mess of what's left, okay? So see that little piece? The little piece is what is peeking out. So I'm going to stick it there because I found it. And clean up my mess because it makes me happy when I'm organized. And this is lovely, is in your ephemera. It's popped up. It's a little opener. And then the flowers popped up and then the little border piece goes there. So I can put that in my album pile. Make sure when you put your mat down that you have your room for your binding holes. It gets easier as the piles get smaller, right? Question, when you are done, can you show us how to put the holes in the pages that need them? I struggle with lining them up. Yes, Kimberly, I always use one of the page protectors. That's what I use to put my binding holes. Simple Stories used to have an opener page in these albums, which was perfect because I wouldn't care if I mucked it up, because it was the kind of thing that talked about the snap binder and they took it away. But you could also, oh, here's another great idea. Remember the chipboard pages we're not using? Great binding holes. And I just hold it together or paper clip it and punch your holes. Paper clip it to the chipboard piece and punch your holes. And I use my crocodile, or even better, because I find the crocodile holes aren't really wide enough, is a hole punch, right? So grab your other beach page. It's just like a mini page, right? Mini page with the two little black mats. It's all that's left in that pile that will work. And they are actually, when you put them on, they go off the side of the page, because I think that makes it interesting, the mini pages, right? And then we use the vellum is backed on that when we flip it. And then remember we punch these circles. So you're probably seeing, you don't have a lot of real estate on that little card to punch your circles, but because none of them, they're all hidden. If you don't get a full circle out of all of them, it's still fine, because I think I probably didn't. The math won't work. So, it's fine because we hide them all. They went at the bottom of something and then they're hidden underneath these mats. This is out of your ephemera. I love numbers, so I put them on there with the little circles. Make sure you're aware of your binding holes. And then on the back side of this page is the vellum with Heidi's signature animal print that says "Living Up the Weekend." So we put that in my stack. And grab a full binder page. Okay, full binder page. Yeah, use the dividers as a guide, I think is awesome. Some people will draw the circle on and punch it. That's helpful too. Paper clip it, whatever you need to do. Hi, Jess. Numbers are super cute, right? I love them. So full binder page, grab your yellow B page, gold side up, and all that's left now is the little piece. So put that guy in, make sure your B's are not upside down. Alright, this looks 4x6-ish, so we'll measure that, but grab your pink dots with the birds, and I think you have two 4x6s left, right? Am I wrong? Yep, no, I'm not this time. So grab one of the 4x6 birds. If you want to use a different one somewhere else, it's fine. You can just grab it later. But for now, throw it in that pocket. Again, all of this is layered on the outside. It's what I like to do. Do whatever makes you happy. But the vellum is only adhered underneath. Be present. It's so important, right? Be present. Backside is your other black mat. You only have one left. No dead bees. Okay, put it in there. And put it in your stack. You're doing great, friends. Doing great. And even if you aren't keeping up with me, you see where we're going, right? It will all be fine. It'll all work out. I love this page. So it's our remaining piece. Oh, I don't know. There's something, isn't there, about that kind of buffalo looking plaid with that polka dot. I think the black and the robin egg is beautiful. So grab your mat out of your toile paper. It is a 3x4, just grab one of them, clip it, and then this is a tag out of your ephemera, I think. It might not be, it might be one of our cut-aparts. It's a cut-apart. That's out of your cut-aparts, so grab it. It is the one that said, wildflowers don't care where they grow. And it's that tag there. I put my giant vellum piece underneath it and then pop dotted the tag, and it's popping out the top as well. So just clip for now. Turn your page, and the only thing that's going to go on there is a layered vellum piece and the pretty flower on top. Makes me super happy. And then you can put a photo underneath or journaling, whatever makes you happy. And now grab this binder page. And this is just layered ephemera. I layered, if you can't see it, there is a vellum gold flower underneath this. And then these flowers are two separate pieces layered, and that tag out of our tag pile, if you want to grab that. I love these pages. You could totally journal all over it, tell your story, your memoir, or put a photo on it. Now flip it, and then that is going to be a piece of, remember, you can see I use these all the time to ground my titles. So I put that at the top, smile, and then your ephemera pieces layered with a vellum heart. It says, here comes the sun, smile. Okay, so we don't need anything right now. You just need your bits. You can pause the video to see exactly where everything is foamed up and everything else is flat. The next page is the back side of the pocket. Remember that piece that we did out of the Heidi Swap paper like this? So the back side of it is going to have the little ephemera piece popped up that says, your every nice word I can think of. I love that. And then the other side, you're just going to put adhesive on the sides, glue it, and it's a pocket. And it will have the remaining black piece inside of it. So let's just clip it. It will have the remaining yellow cardstock piece. Okay, and then that is an ephemera piece, noted, that you can put in there. This little ephemera piece is popped up with a vellum cloud tag underneath it. Make sure when you punch your holes, you take everything out of your pocket first and then punch your holes, put it back in. And then that goes in our pile. Look how big that pile's getting. Look how small these piles are getting. Look at what you have accomplished in 3.5 hours. I love, love, love it. And this didn't get glued down very good. It's fallen out. I might not have even glued it at all. So grab your binder page, the last one in your stack. Grab the vellum that we scored, because it's going to be a side flap. One goes on the cover, no scoring. It goes on the cover. This one goes on. You'll put your adhesive on that, fold it behind very carefully, or you could washi tape this down, whatever you want to do. The vellum is tricky, I'm not going to lie. It is a tricky flap, but it will be adhesive on the flap, glued to the front side, and now you will have a vellum side flap. Okay, clip. Layered on it is a tag, and then the little pink tag that I cut out. I know I cut it out of that piece of all of the little tags in the cut-aparts. And then you add, I put us on it because it's the little letters I had left. Do whatever you want. And then a little gold heart. The back side of this one is this little tag that I did not glue, so it's fallen out. Grab 2 of your mats that are left. There's 2 of them in our toile pad or pack stack. I did put the vellum piece underneath, and then I foam squared all the corners of the mat and glued the center flat. Because these albums can get super bulky, so you don't want to foam dot everything, right? Or you can if you want. And that goes in my stack. And this is, I cut a little bit off of it, I think, so it would fit. And it will be in your ephemera pack. And then you can put whatever title you want on that one. Question, can you show the other side again? How does the vellum open? Yes. Just like any side flap, it is glued. The 1/4 inch is glued to the front. Remember, we scored that 1/4 inch, glue it flat, and then put it in there. Something fun is you totally could put a scallop border on this, and then you could see a peek of it underneath the vellum, which would be really fun. Or totally put a piece of washi tape down that if you want to secure your vellum a little bit. If I had a piece, I would stick it on there, but I'd have to get up to go grab my washi. Okay? All right, friends, grab the full pocket page. This is super easy. Full pocket page, open the top flap and slide it into the pocket. The flap goes on the outside. It's one of my favorite things to do with pocket pages is add some interactive. So now your flap is on the outside, and I layered a vellum flower that is in your ephemera. I popped up, remember this, and put the little flower tag, and now I have a little peekaboo. The back side of this is, oh look, remember the scallop that we have? So remember, we use this bird somewhere else. If you like the other bird, do whatever you want, right? It's going to go on the inside. The little scallop is going to go, it all goes inside. All of this is in the pocket. And then we still have to cut a piece of our heart. So later, cut a strip and put round the corners and put your little border beside it. I love it. I love gray and black and pink together. Add a little turquoise and it is a party. So I am going to just clip that for now because I know where it is. You'll have to trim some of that off, but it's fine. Okay? And put that in your stack. And that's what it looks like if you need a little reminder. Rounded the bottom corners and then your little strip. We are so close. We have 2 pocket pages left to do. These are just photo placement. All right, I didn't put anything in it because I would put photo to photo back to back, okay? So if you're seeing that and you're like, I don't have any white cardstock, well, you don't have any white cardstock. So grab your 2 pocket pages. In the top, we're not going to put anything because it's just going to be a photo. And then in the bottom, remember, we have these 2 that we pulled aside because we love them. And I'm going to put the noted in the bottom pocket. So noted goes in the bottom pocket. And then love this tag will go on that side. And I popped it out like that. This would be awesome spot where when you're done, you punch the hole and you can put some twine on there. Baker's twine would be really fun. But that's, you can add whatever you want. Photos, you could flip it, whatever you want to do, okay? The back side of this is nothing. Nothing is added, so just put it in your cut pile. Pardon me, album pile. And then your last pocket is this piece, but the back side of it. So just make sure your words aren't upside down. So documented is not upside down when you put it in there. It's going to go in the bottom pocket. Okay. And then that is another piece of UPC strip. Use whatever one you like. And simplify is vellum all attached to the front of the pocket. And then the back side is a great way to finish off, right? So what do we have left? Pieces that are left are going to go possibly here and on your cover. Okay, so you might have extra. It wouldn't be the first time. You could put them in pockets, whatever you have. So keep all of your barcodes because we're going to use them somewhere. That mat, maybe I missed it, don't know, but you have it. So you could decorate the back cover if you need to. But I use almost everything. Everything we cut had a place somewhere in this album. But I would just take your bits now to stay organized so you don't lose anything and clip it and put it in the kit bag. Or stuff it in the album, right? Oh my goodness, with 2 minutes to spare, I'm going to flip the camera. I'm going to say, answer any questions, and then we can meet up right now for the live on Facebook. But look at that, friends. So now what do? Take your stack like this and carefully flip it. And now it is all in order, and you can glue, add your ephemera, add your stickers, personalize it. You can switch anything around because you have not committed with any glue. The only thing I'd recommend, because you can do this, but be careful, is some people will take it and just add it in your album so you don't lose it, right? Just make sure you don't knock this on the floor because that is a nightmare. I've seen it happen, and then you have to put everything in order again. But look at what we just put together in 3.5 hours. You do get what I'm saying, right, friends? Like when it's like, we won't finish this. You never would finish an album. If you were making this on your own, how long would it take you to do this, right? It would take you'd probably work on it for a week or so. So I love that we just, in a very systematic way, put this together, and it will house at least probably 50 photos. And I will talk when we go to the live about my favorite photo app to use to print all different sizes of photos. And you are going to, if you didn't love me before, you will love me after I share that with you. I'm going to do this as well and put it all in there. And quickly, before I flip the camera, because we have time, I'm going to do a quick run through of the album. So I'm going to flip it, and then you can see the order, okay? So here we go. Is just a quick flip. So you have a reference later to come and pause on the pages if you need to see anything, okay? So we'll do a quick flip. So you have a flip through when you go to put it together. Top flap. Side flaps, all nice and clean. Totally could add some washi if you wanted to. Side pocket, mats, top flap, inside a pocket page. Title is on the outside. Tag is on the outside. Okay. There we go. Very good. All of this stuff is on the outside of the pockets. Lots of foam squares. Double flaps. Top flap. Top flap. Top flap. Remember when you adhere this that you want to keep it all clean. So glue your flaps together first and then adhere it. Waterfall flap is the one that is not folded behind because it's too thick and then they stick off your page. So this is a hinge instead of a folded back flap. Okay, adhere all of them together and then glue it to your page. Trim a little bit of the bottom off. All inside the pocket here. Look at all this real estate. Look at the memoir and story you can tell. So this is like if Jess and I went to the party. I make all the pretty, and then you can tell all the fun story. Because look at, I'm happy to just look at my albums like this. Sometimes don't even care if there's a photo in it. But how fun is that, right? And I love the little mini pages, and they look nice together. Okay, outside, inside. Here we go. There we go. Pocket. All the bits go in. Side flap of vellum. Oops, I didn't glue this, so it keeps popping off, but it goes on there like that. Top flap inside a pocket. And then just our two little pocket pages at the end. Oh my goodness. Okay. I am going to flip the camera around, a little Blair Witch. Here we go. Woo! Don't hang up, Vicki. Yay, flip it. Hi, how are you? Oh my goodness, guys, you're fabulous. You did the things. So, sorry, I don't know my own strength. And when I tighten this, now I can't loosen it because I have big pipes. So I might just hold the camera for a minute because I'm going to say goodbye in a sec. Sorry. There we go. Hi. Oh, Vicki, you tighten this so much that I can't. Sorry, you got to look at my hand for a minute because I can't do it with my left hand. There we go. Sorry about that. Any questions? Ask them now, and then I'm going to meet you anyway on Facebook Live. And we can go and talk about the things as you look at my old lady hand there. Here we go. Ooh, there. Hi. Hi. Okay, that was good, right, friends? Any questions? For some of you, it might have went a little speedy at that point, right? Because I wanted to make sure we got it all in the time. And I also don't want to mess up with the schedule for Catherine. But I'm only 4 minutes over it, and I'm very proud of myself because I really thought it was like, oh, geez, that went a little bit longer than I thought. But it's awesome when you put this together, the gluing and the adding the embellishments and all of those bits. That's the fun part. So like I said, I told you and Catherine warned you, you're not going to finish these classes because really we could finish it, but it would have only been 10 pages long, right? So you did a great job. I'm very proud of you. Thank you for sticking around. If you left and you came back after, thanks, friends. I love it. Please leave comments on the video after when it's not live, and I will definitely check back and answer any questions that you have because maybe you aren't even making this live. Maybe something else came up and you weren't in the class this afternoon and you might have questions. Let me know. And now come and join me, over on Facebook, and we can answer any questions. And maybe, Catherine, can I do a surprise giveaway? Can we do a Vicki Boutin giveaway over on the YouTubers or the Facebook? Or you can give it away when you do your talk with Jen, but just know I'm supplying some giveaways. And I think for easy, because for shipping, maybe we'll just do, I'll do a giveaway to vickiboutin.com and you can pick whatever you want, right? So maybe that'll be good. And even if you're international, I will work it out and we'll ship it wherever it needs to go. So we'll figure something out. But come and join me on Facebook. Thank you so much. That was fabulous. I'm going to take like a 5-minute break and then I'll be over there. Okay, friends? That was so much fun. Thank you for joining me. If you have any questions, just come and ask them on the Facebook page. And I'm going to turn the camera around too, so I'm looking at the right side instead of like this the whole time. Thanks, guys. We'll talk to you later. I have to figure out how to end this. Let's go meet up on the Facebook page.